The U.S. men's volleyball team claims the bronze after sweeping Italy in 3 sets. And the U.S. men's water polo team falls to Serbia 10-6 in the semifinal. They will play for a bronze medal.
It's time. You know what time it is? Time. The game for Tuscaloosa's longest running sports show.
The biggest goal of our team,
especially in the first half,
we at Bama, we're trying to be the best. Always is to win a national championship.
Something cool to look back on.
We don't want to waste a failure.
You're inside the game.
John Mechie on the ground.
Appreciate your interest in the game.
On your home for Alabama sports.
Alabama wins.
Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. Now, here's your award-winning host, Ryan Fowler.
How are you doing, Tuscaloosa? Big good afternoon to you. We're going to talk a lot of SEC college football, but we're really going to dial in on the University of Alabama. I've done a couple of radio interviews. They've kind of got me a little bit charged up. I went on in Norman, Oklahoma, out there with Chris Plank. We talked a lot of Alabama Crimson Tide football, and we talk about the hiccups. We talk about the potential hurdles for this Alabama football team, certainly the schedule. There's been more favorable schedules for Alabama. That is one of those things, and I see it here on a big grid that I just brought into the studio that's got all the SEC teams, and we'll kind of run through this, and really we'll also set the stage for a major scrimmage on the campus of the University of Alabama. It's going to be a big weekend of coverage, right? You got Fan Day. Many of you may or may not be coming to Tuscaloosa, but you'll have a lot of reports coming out of T-Town. You'll have a chance, and I go back to Fan Day. I can take myself back to Fan Day. As a child, my parents used to bring me down. We'd go to A-Day, and it would be actual Fan Day. So you would do Fan Day, and A-Day was on the same day. Then they moved it to August. When I look back at Fan Day, the way that they did it, a little bit different than what they do it now, but a part of Yay, Alabama, and we know that NIL has changed the climate and the arena for autographs and players and all those different things. So we'll talk about Alabama's Crimson Tide football practice. We'll dive into a couple different things. We got Brent Beard coming up here in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll talk to David Harden coming up at 4:30. We're going to have a chance to dive into a couple different things with him. David's going to be talking about a big event, and we did get confirmation yesterday, and I was able to make that announcement, the Pigskin Kickoff, which is something we did last year with Reese Davis. The Pigskin Kickoff is going to be August the 26th. John Hannah, a college football Hall of Fame, pro football Hall of Fame. Nate Oates, I think you recognize him, Final Four, Elite Eight basketball coach. When you look at Nate Oates, I guess you've got to be there. And then Cedric Burns, the athletic relations coordinator for the University of Alabama. Doors will be open at 5:15, program at 6, and I'll be up there interviewing both Cedric and Nate Oates. So we're going to have a great conversation. Then we're going to hand that mic to John Hannah, and he's going to tell you some great stories, but also challenge you as well. So we did this last year at University Church of Christ, and you get a chance to reserve a table. We're going to give you all the details coming up with David Harden around 4:30. So we're going to do a free-for-all Friday presented by Brian Harden Construction. I think you'll connect the names. Brian Harden is David's younger brother. So Brian Harden Construction, free-for-all Friday every Friday. The rules are very simple. We'll go through those rules right now. You guys ready? There are no rules. We have a free-for-all Friday. We let it rip. We're going to have some fun, but we're also going to talk a lot of Alabama Crimson Tide football, and we talk about the expectations. One weekend of practice, I visited with a source on the phone earlier today, and we talked a lot about this football team, and I've identified a couple of areas that are some role players, and we're going to talk about this as we travel throughout this show of some things that I've been able to gather behind the scenes. So we invite you to download the Tide 100.9 app. We do it every day from 2 until 6, but our entire lineup of 12 hours of local generated content, combining, when it's basketball season. We talked about Nate Oates a couple of minutes ago. We do the basketball side of things with Nate Oates show, and then we'll do the Kayla DeBoer show. By the way, it's got a new day. It's now on a Wednesday from 6 until 7:30. So we're going to be handing directly off to that from 6 to 7:30. And Kayla DeBoer show, and there may be a player that will be the kind of the featured of the guest, but it's going to be a ton of fun as we get ready for this upcoming season. We're 22 days away, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union, alabamacu.com. So one Johnny Musso away, one Mark Ingram, the first Heisman winner, but also I'll take you back to the old school, 1961. There was a fullback on that team. You know his name? His name was Bill Oliver. Brother Bill Oliver wore the number 22. So you look back at 22. 22's been great for the University of Alabama. Bill Oliver also played defensive back too, but he was a fullback, when you think about that number 22. So 22, Bill Oliver. Brother Bill Oliver wore the 22. Johnny Musso wore the 22. And we hope that LT Overton can make that number just as famous along with Justice Haynes. Let's continue with more of your phone calls, and we'll do that coming up in about 15 minutes. Brent Beard, First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida, ABC, NBC News affiliate. Brent Beard, how are you, my friend? Welcome into the game in Tuscaloosa.
And one Gene Jelks.
That's a good number, yeah.
Wore the same thing. Jelks, and there were a couple of games where now Gene Jelks and Bobby Humphrey were in the backfield often at the same time. Unfortunately, Bama's season ended in the late 80s when both of them got hurt against Vanderbilt. I mean, it was like season-ending knee injuries, which is, I don't think that's ever happened again. Hopefully it won't for Alabama. But I can tell you look, I know people were mad at Jelks for a while with the NCAA investigation stuff, but that's behind us. But Jelks will always be remembered in my mind as one of the better running backs and kick returners Alabama had. You mentioned John Hanna, and just for our listeners, if they don't know this, they need to Google. Help me on this, Ryan. Sports Illustrated said he was the best offensive lineman ever.
That's right, Sports Illustrated. I've got the cover.
Yeah, and look, I don't know if you remember this, but was it Jim Croft that was on the same sign right by Hanna? Look, they had that particular side of the line. I mean, look, they always ran behind them because they were two of the best there's ever been. So when we always like to throw a little nostalgia in this segment, so I just gave you some.
No, I mean, I love it when we could talk about it. I mean, listen, there's been some great players at the University of Alabama. I think it's one of the programs that is so rich in tradition. And, we talk a lot about frustration with the College Football Hall of Fame because I feel like that we should have more members there. But I also understand, that it's very difficult. When you play here and you're nominated to be in the College Football Hall of Fame, that's like almost a badge of honor within itself, right? I mean, this place is pretty special. Brent, we're 1 week into practice here in Tuscaloosa. From your perspective, when you look at it from that standpoint, there's a lot of hype around this football team. Like I've watched it kind of shift a little bit from where it was negative. And we were not on that negative side because we thought we had a pretty good finger on the pulse of what this team would look like. But as practice has arrived, 8 practices in, this Alabama football team's got a chance.
They do. They really do. I mean, it's a really good football team. And when you look at the various rooms, and sometimes it's good to do it this way. I mean, you start at quarterback. They've got a deep quarterback room. And look, if something happened to Milroe, I think Ty Simpson now could come in and is mature enough where he would be fine. And it's going to be interesting to see how Lonergan and Mack do. Hopefully they'll get some time. I mean, the running back room for Alabama is one of the best running back rooms I remember in years because I really think Haynes and Miller are that good. And you get even beyond that, and they've got – listen, Ryan, would I be wrong to say some of Bama's third and fourth string running backs to start for some teams? I really believe that might be possible. Now, the wide receivers like the secondary – are inexperienced but incredibly talented in many ways. I understand Kalen DeBoer said that the defensive line may be the deepest and most consistent. I hope guys like Tim Smith get a recharge and are able to really to come up good this year. The linebackers, I think, are going to be off the charts. Listen, have we ever seen an Alabama kicking game where the kickers this early on, Ryan, are basically all up for the kicker awards?
Not that I can recall. You're talking about Alabama, James Burnip, and then Graham Nicholson.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I asked that question in Kalen DeBoer on Sunday. I talked about the specialist, and what have you seen from Graham Nicholson? Wow, a lot of. I mean, his reaction told me everything. I mean, the nonverbals were like, "Oh yeah, this."
Yeah.
I mean, and I know Alabama fans are excited, but I mean, think about it just for a minute from Kalen DeBoer's perspective. From a Kalen DeBoer perspective, when you come down and you coach at the University of Alabama and you walk out there, there's a lot of new toys in the toy box.
Oh, yeah, they really are. And look, and I know in this league, you've got to have a kicker who is not only accurate. Look, I don't care anything about kickers who kick it 60 yards when nobody around. What I want to see is, can you kick it 45 yards in Baton Rouge in the fourth quarter? That's what's going to matter, and I think this guy can do that.
That's the big topic of conversation when you think about it around this Alabama football team. Brent, I want to travel around to some other SEC teams because, the one thing that I look at, and I just saw Ross Dellinger just put up a tweet, Florida State and ACC are scheduled to enter mediation between the natural mediator next week as part of their legal fight. While ordered by the judge, the mediation is noteworthy, but there is no guarantee of a settlement. What does that involve there? Because I just saw that being released from Ross Dellinger. Is this what?
Well, yeah, they've been working on let me put it to you this way. They've been trying to get the money right now for quite a while. There's no doubt they are leaving. I still think they're going to the Big Ten. It's just a matter of time, and the legalese involved in this just takes some time, and for them to come out and basically say that there's an official mediator, I think that's a good thing. What the ACC needs to understand is they need to get some money out of this. If they let this go and just say, okay, we'll see you in court, and we're gonna make sure you get nothing. Well, that's not going to work. What the ACC needs to do is they need to look. It originally was thought that in order to get out of the grant of rights, that it would be like $550 million. Well, what the ACC needs to do is quit trying to get that kind of money and end up getting some money, like $200 million or something of that effect. So they get some money. Florida State gets released, and they make that money up in the Big Ten. I think that's positive. Now, that's still not saying that on August 15th, which is next week, is when you've got to let the ACC know if you're leaving. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. But look, again, Ryan, this is just a matter of time. And I'm particularly glad to hear the word mediation in there.
Okay, and let's not get bogged down with this, but I want you to take what I'm about to say with Alabama, and I want you to apply it to some of the teams out there, because I've been on this kind of soapbox a little bit, because as we navigate this 12-team playoff, you could say this about a lot of the top teams, because one of the hiccups, and I try to look at myself and I try to go, okay, this Alabama team, yes, they could win a national title. Yes, they could. I mean, I know that's probably something that we haven't said a lot, but they can. Okay, they can win a national title.
Yeah.
But the one element that I look at, and they must stay healthy. They must be able to stay healthy.
Yes.
They cannot afford injuries at certain positions. And I've been on record of saying, if you got an injury at left tackle, you're probably in trouble. I think that's why you're seeing them cross-train Elijah Pritchett from right tackle and left tackle. Yeah, center, okay? You've got Geno Vandermark, okay? He's a transfer. He could probably play some center, but Parker Brailsford's a freshman All-American. I mean, you understand what he did to Montez Sweat last year on that defensive front at Texas. But then you look at safety. You don't have a lot of wiggle room. The depth is just not where. But I think we could probably go down Georgia's side of things. So we can talk about Georgia. We can say, well, where are you weak at? And bet it's depth around the world of college athletics. It's something we're all having to adjust to.
Oh, yeah. And with Georgia's Malachi Starks, who is the star of that secondary, but they're not very deep around him. So, look, all these teams have weaknesses. That's your reality. And I don't know if people understand this or have heard this or not. Oklahoma, who we think is going to be better, they've got to replace every every starter on the offensive line in this league, if you're playing in this league, I'll be honest with you, I would almost rather have to replace your quarterback than your entire offensive line.
And that's the topic. I mean, when you think about it, hey, look, QD in Phoenix City said, hey, when you mentioned 22, you've also got to mention touchdown Tony Nathan. Wow, that's another great one.
No doubt.
Yeah, wow.
No doubt.
Wow. I mean,
that's right.
Now, not a great interview, though, by the way. Whew, man. 13 questions in about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. He's a bailiff down in Broward County, down in South Florida. He's still down in Miami.
That's interesting.
But he's very no-nonsense. There's not a lot of – I've interviewed him. He's tough, man. Like I said, so I respect his football ability. We featured him a couple times, but it is – you got to squeeze to get some of that content. But let me ask you about Georgia when you look at this team. They're obviously the favorite to win the SEC.
Oh, yeah.
Where is the questions around this dog team?
Well, they're fine with Carson Beck. Now, if he gets hurt, that's a major problem. Frankly, they've got ETN from Florida at running back who is really very good and was underutilized at Florida. They just lost Ra Thomas, the wide receiver, for basically domestic violence, and he had to go. You cannot put up with that. But, I mean, they've still got some very good wide receivers. They're loaded. Tate Ratledge maybe playing center a little bit. They're cross-training him. They're fine on the offensive line. They're fine on the defensive line. They've got depth everywhere, but they don't have a lot of experience in the secondary. Is the reality for that. Small Munden is one of the better linebackers in the league. I mean, it's hard to find weaknesses with them, but the good thing for them, finally, they've got a schedule that may really cause them some issues. They've got Clemson early. They got Bama in September. They've got Texas in October, and they've got Ole Miss in November. So it's not with that schedule, Ryan, for them, it's not the slam dunk it was last year.
And I was talking with someone about the LSU football team, and it's something that we've been kind of identifying with Mike Detillier, a regular on our guest every single week. But when you look at LSU, I mean, you start looking at this schedule. Like, I mean, they've got USC. Okay, gotcha. Then they've got Nichols, which, okay, South Carolina on the road. UCLA. USC is a neutral site game. Then they play UCLA. Then they play South Alabama. And then they get in the schedule of Ole Miss, Arkansas, Texas A&M, Alabama, Florida, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma to end up. I mean, you start looking at LSU and you're going, maybe this Brian Kelly thing is it got off to a fast start, but it's kind of sputtered out a little bit.
Well, and the reason why is their defense is still not up to par. Their beat writers would tell you they just don't have the talent. Now, they do have the coaches. Obviously, Bo Davis is there. Corey Ramey came over from Florida. And then Blake Baker came over from Missouri. So, now, look, I'm not saying they don't have talent, but the reality is on defense that they have nowhere near the talent they do on offense. Nussmeier will be really good. Emory comes back. Josh Williams comes back. I mean, they've got wide receivers. But Ryan, until they are really much better defensively, and I give Kelly credit for realizing that and hiring these coaches, they're not. I'm not saying they won't be a playoff team, but it's going to be a real effort for them to be in that final 12 until they really get a better defense.
What do you think about Clemson? I know you got to overlap with the SEC and the ACC because, you look at that Georgia schedule. They better, I don't know what they're going to do with these disciplinary issues and all the things that they've had throughout the offseason, but you better buckle that chin strap a little bit tighter because, Clemson, Georgia, you don't have any wiggle room. Kind of reminds me of this Alabama-Florida State game from, what was that, 2017? Was that right, 2017? Could have been, over in...
Yes.
I think it was 2017 when they started out Florida State and Alabama 2-3, but not that high. But Clemson, Georgia, we're going to get college football, and we're going to kind of find out who's made of what early.
Yeah, Cade Klubnik is a quarterback there, and they've got to improve in that area. They've got a really good running game. Now, their defense is top-notch. Their front line is NFL mentality, frankly. And they've got Peter Woods is on that front line. I probably don't need reminding your listeners who that is.
Sure.
Who Alabama thought they had.
They could use him.
Yeah, no, there's no question. Yeah, absolutely. And he'll make that defense front much better. I mean, Georgia's the better of the two teams, but that would be a monumental win, would it not, for Dabo right now if he could get it?
It would be, and I think it would be something that the Dog fans. Now, I've kind of pitched it to Alabama fans for a couple of minutes, and I said, okay, what if Georgia loses that game? I know you'll celebrate, but they could come to Tuscaloosa a little bit mad, right? When you look at Georgia, the only games that they have, Clemson's that first one, and then they've got Tennessee Tech, Kentucky, then they got the bye week, then they come to Tuscaloosa. So you almost, in kind of some ways, you have to pull for the Dogs, do you not? I mean, from a Bama perspective, you don't want them to come here ticked off.
And look, even if they beat Clemson, that Kentucky game could give them problems. Frankly, Kentucky has done they've done a credible job in playing them right now. So and the game's early. That game is usually in November, so Kentucky won't have the injuries that they normally have been going into that game too. So, but that will be an interesting one. But yeah, if they get past Clemson, they'll probably be undefeated coming into Tuscaloosa.
Hey, Brent Beard, First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida, second helping with Travis Reier. You're still able to get him to, even though he's retired, man. Do you guys do that on the front nine or the back nine? I mean, on the golf course.
That's funny. Oh yeah, that's great. We did a live one the other night, and we really enjoyed that.
Sure.
Talking about the big weekends of the year, and he is doing well and did a great job with Bama Online for 21 years. My final question to you as we're going out is: do you remember in your recent memory an Alabama scrimmage at 9:30 in the morning?
No.
I don't either. I don't either. No. Hey, Ryan. The boys can't be out partying too late tonight, can they?
Well, and you know what? That's another reason. You do think about the morning side of things.
Yeah.
And I wonder, because this fan day is happening, and I don't know until Kalen DeBoer talks tomorrow how they're going to do fan day, because the scrimmage is tomorrow, and then they're going to do fan day on Sunday.
Okay.
So it's a little on the, I don't know. I mean, how, are they going to be able to go? Is it going to be a full practice? And I don't know. I'm asking. Right. That's the part we don't know. We don't know the format, and we don't know. Like following a scrimmage tomorrow. Is Kalen DeBoer going to hand us a stat sheet? Because Nick Saban would always kind of fabricate the stats. I mean, we'd hear, Tua Tagovailoa did this, Jalen, Hurts did this, Jacob Coker did this, Blake Sims did this. I mean, but we didn't have no verification, and sometimes they were a little bit skewed, just a little bit, a little bit, like
right.
And so he wanted to cover his defense, wanted to cover his offense, but so we don't know. I mean, maybe Kalen DeBoer hands us a stat sheet and says, "Hey, this is what it is." I'll
say this, Ryan. It's an early morning, but I mean, if you've got what you need by saying noon, that's not bad either, is it?
No, and that's the media availability tomorrow. I mean, it is literally. I mean, as far as media details, like he will talk tomorrow at noon. Matter of fact, Brent, I'm only telling you this, so I don't want you to tell anybody, but
I won't.
As soon as that press conference is over, Fowler's Fowler's going to the beach. So Fowler is going to cover Kalen DeBoer, and I'm going to walk out of that Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I'm going to go jump in the Tuscaloosa Toyota vehicle, and I am southbound. I'll be on the water, by maybe, 4:15, 4:30, something like that, about 4 hours, maybe 5. But, so it's I was believing all these negative naysayers that I was going to have the month of December completely off and have nothing to do. Mm-hmm. After watching about 4 or 5 practices in Tuscaloosa, I'm like, I better get one in while I can, because that month of December, it's not going to be one of those. But, hey, Brent, I appreciate you, man. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Friday, man. Thank you.
Well, we'll look forward to talking scrimmages next week, brother. Take care.
Thank you. Brent Beard, first scrimmage. Let me ask you from a fan perspective, what is it that you want to know coming out of scrimmage? What is it that you want to hear about? What is it that – because, see, I'm watching a couple of things. I'm watching, listening, trying to absorb, talking to people, watching, practice with my own eyes. But I want to kind of hear what you want to know coming out of this first scrimmage. What is it? What is it, the one thing that you're focused in on? We'll talk about it. And also, I want to throw this to you. Okay, well, let's eliminate the Georgia-Alabama game. What's the second hardest game on this schedule? When you look at this Alabama schedule, Western Kentucky, South Florida, at Wisconsin, Georgia here, Vanderbilt on the road, South Carolina here, Tennessee on the road, the Missouri Tigers, at LSU, Mercer, Oklahoma, Auburn. What's the second hardest game? Now, you may not even agree that Georgia's the hardest game, and if that's the case, maybe you put Georgia at that number 2 spot. I think it's Georgia because it's going to be a big game. But who knows what that dog team is really, truly made of. We saw a team that wasn't very inspired last December over at Atlanta. Like they were kind of bored to death with college football. They better not be bored when they get to Tuscaloosa. If not, they'll be going back to our friends in Athens with a big L. We'll continue with more of the game. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
This hour's West Alabama real-time news update from the Tuscaloosa Thread Newsroom.
Northport's Big Lot Discount Department Store is one of 315 underperforming locations that will be closed nationwide. The announcement is part of the company's filing with the Security and Exchange Commission. According to first quarter quarterly results, the retailer has seen sales decline by $114 million in the first quarter of 2024. Malachi Moore and Jalen Milroe have been named to the Walter Camp watch list. For all these stories and more,
Something so good, it'll leave her speechless.
I'm Tom Osmond, your jeweler at Fincher and Osmond Jewelers. Not so easy to find on McFarland, between Edgar's and Local Roots.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 92, tonight's low 71. For the weekend, the humidity values come down. A good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Daytime highs around 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
The best breakdown of Alabama.
I just saw this go across the screen. Wyatt, you may have seen this more confirmed, but Jim Harbaugh is going to be the honorary captain of the Michigan season opener versus Fresno State. Are you kidding me? I mean, what in the world are they just saying? Michigan, you're almost remind me in a lot of ways Texas. It's been a long time since you've walked in this national championship walk, and it's like, you know what? It's a winning at all costs. Like Texas right now, they would buy themselves a national championship if it worked like that. And really, if you look at Michigan, the way they built that program, Courtney Morgan, please turn the radio off if you don't mind, just a second here. It looks like that. Even before NIL, they kind of developed a little bit of a routine here up in Ann Arbor, and some of these desperate blue bloods are. And like I said, Michigan's got a lot of wins, but that's a funny statement.
They did everything with that except give an actual finger to the NCAA is what it feels like, because he's got that show cause.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're going to get him back. We're going to put him as an honorary captain. That would be like trying to think. It is. It's just it's a double bird. It's a double bird of the NCAA. Like Yeah. All right, so here we go. Let's go to Paul in Lincoln. Free for All Friday, sponsored by Brian Harden Construction, ASME certification, I-beam installation, fabrication. If you're building from the ground up, let's build something together. Paul, Lincoln. Paul, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game.
Greetings from Mar-a-Lago, Ryan. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, good. How's everything down there? You guys had a big media availability yesterday. How was that?
We did. Donald J. Trump stood up for 77 minutes answering questions without a teleprompter. He took on the media head on and answered every question and had to put a couple in their place and like a boss, like the boss that he is. He's actually in the air right now, traveling to Bozeman, Montana for a big rally tonight.
Okay.
So we're down here in Mar-a-Lago just trying to finishing up some campaign business.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
okay, well, that's awesome. That's and I tell you what, I went back. I was on the lawnmower this morning, Northport Power Equipment. Good mower. And I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. But I listened to the entire press conference. Okay, you know who it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of Nick Saban in a media availability. I mean, like he controls the room so much that it's kind of, oh, wow. Okay. So
he absolutely controlled the room yesterday. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. That was vintage Trump right there. And we got we got what, 22 days until the start of kickoff Alabama football, Ryan.
22.
We've got 22. We've got 87 days to an even more important date. That's November 5th. We've got to get out the vote. We've got to get out there and drum up support. We're safe. We're safe in Alabama, but you can't take the foot off the accelerator. It's time to fire these neocons, these radicals, these globalists. It's time to kick their butts to the curb and make America great again.
Yeah. Well, it's unique to see the amount of support that is out there. I don't know what to feel. It's kind of like predicting college football. I don't know. Like my finger's not on the pulse. I feel like I watch a lot of news. It feels like there's a lot of people that wants $3.89 gasoline. So that's what I'm picking up. That more people that like paying $8 for a gallon of milk and $9 for a loaf of bread and $6 for a dozen eggs. Maybe people are enjoying this more than I originally thought. So,
well, Ryan, just remember the mainstream media is doing whatever they can, whatever it takes to prop Kamala and this clown that she's chosen as her vice president, to prop them up. They want everything to look great.
Are you talking about the Iraq veteran? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The master sergeant who decided to dodge conflict over in Iraq, and I know at least one of the 500 that he was in command of stepped on an IED over there and was killed. So a 19-year-old. There's a pretty blistering interview with the young man's mother that I heard, and believe me, there's no love lost between her.
Well, there's something that you
Tampon Tim.
Yeah, you don't do, and you don't pretend to be something you're not in the military. When you look at people that have died on that front line to give us the liberty to sit around here and talk college football, and then you want to go out here and pretend.
Absolutely. There's no one on the face of the earth that I respect more. And I was never in conflict. I was never in any of the armed services. But there's no one on the face of the earth that I respect more than veterans, because they laid it on the line. They stood in the breach. They bled. They died. They injured. They were maimed. And for this clown. And I don't care what his previous service was. I know he said he was in the National Guard for 24 years. Great. But when your country called you to go into Iraq to lead your men into battle, you cut and ran. And veterans don't forget that, Ryan. They do not forget that. Patriots don't forget that. So it just burns me up to see the fluff that ticket is getting from the mainstream media. But that's what they have nothing else. They can't. They have no policy. They can't debate the issues, and there's plenty of them out there. Plenty of issues, plenty of policies that we are on the right side of. So we just got to keep doing the work. We can't let up. Keep the pedal to the metal. We got to get through Election Day and make sure Donald J. Trump is the winner.
Hey, Paul, let's go football. Scrimmage.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
22 days away, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union. Give me what you want to hear coming out of this first scrimmage.
I want to hear that Jalen Milroe is everything we've heard he is up until this point. That's what I want to hear.
Okay.
And you've heard some pretty glowing accolades about, he's a new quarterback. The video I've seen, it looks like his delivery has completely changed.
His feet. Watch his feet.
Yeah.
They look completely different when you look at how much movement there is there. I mean, he's got it looks different.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how much he's actually gonna play in this scrimmage. I'm sure they're wanting to get a look at a lot of different players, especially in the first scrimmage. But that's something that I want to, that's something that I'm looking forward to hearing about. How comfortable does he look in this new offense? Because they've added some install between spring practice and now. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to hear. Naturally, you could easily say the right side of the offensive line, or the right tackle position, excuse me.
Yeah, and it looks like Wilkin Formby, 8 practices in, has kind of held up pretty strong at that right tackle spot.
I tell you what, I saw a picture, and that's good news to hear about Formby, but I saw a picture of Elijah Pritchett on one of the – it may have been on Tide 100.9 or on your Twitter feed. That young man, he is completely – talking about Pritchett, has completely changed his body. I mean, he looks, it's 6'5", 6'6", about 325. This kid looks like, he certainly looks the part.
Well, I know
There's no doubt
listen,
about
I know
that.
they feel highly of him in the building, as they do Wilkin Formby. So they're letting this competition kind of play out in front of our eyes. And, tomorrow's going to be a big day for both of these guys. We'll see.
It is. It is going to be a big day.
Hey,
the game that I think, go ahead.
That was my question. You're a step ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Ryan, I wanted to say, and it's still going to be a tough game, I think, Tennessee and Knoxville. But I think the second toughest game to me is going to be Oklahoma and Norman.
I said that this
morning. You really
morning
don't know what
out in Norman. I said the same thing.
You don't really know what the weather will be like in late November in Norman, Oklahoma. It could be anywhere from, summertime to sleeting and snowing, because I've seen games out there in that time of the year that you can kind of see anything weather-wise. So I'm kind of thinking Ole Miss, because that's a week before we lay the wood to the bugs, and just wonder if all their minds will be focused on the game in Norman, because they know exactly what they got the following week in T-Town. So I'd say Oklahoma, Ryan.
Okay. You know what? I like that. I like that pick because, LSU, if their defense has problems going up against this offense, good night. See you later. Have fun.
Exactly. That'd be nice.
If you got
it'd be nice. I would love a revisit of the 2020 game in Baton Rouge when we absolutely beat the brakes off of those clowns. Was it 55-17 in 2020? I'd love a repeat.
So, yeah, that's one of the big topics. I mean, you look at it. I mean, you look at Baton Rouge, the defensive side of the football. But, hey, I saw where Hugh Hefner said the culture has changed across the state. And, Paul, I can't say this on the air, but I got a little buzz about Hugh Freeze the last couple of days I want to share with you.
Yeah, please do, because I've heard I heard through the grapevine myself that they've actually reached out to the domestic terrorist Ra Thomas from Georgia. I've heard, yes, try to put your ear to the ground on that one, Ryan.
I have not heard that. Okay,
that Hugh Hefner, Hunter Freeze, actually reached out to him, pricking his interest in the bug. So that would not surprise me whatsoever. Believe me.
Hey,
2 peas in a pod right there.
Appreciate you, Paul. Hope you have a great rest of your day, man.
Roll Tide and roll MAGA.
Paul kicks off Free for All Friday. We thank you for your phone call. Ronnie in South Carolina, where have you been? I see you on the app message. I have a question on the defensive side of the football. I'll try to answer that question. Ron in South Carolina used to call us a lot and is welcome to jump back in. We're asking the question today, when you look at who is going to be the second most difficult game, if we could all agree upon at least not a unanimous, but a consensus that Georgia will be the most difficult game, who's number 2? Is it that Norman game? Is it another game? Is it the Tennessee game? We'll talk more about that. Free for All Friday here in Tuscaloosa, scrimmage number 1. What do you want to hear tomorrow around noon? And we'll start working our sources, and we'll bring you a lot of things coming up on Monday on the game. But we're going to talk about it right here on the game. We'll take more of your phone calls. Rumsey Environmental, it's a one-stop shop serving West Alabama for all of your waste removal needs. When you have to know it's being done right, that's the time to call Rumsey Environmental, 205-248-0002, 205-248-0002, Rumsey Environmental. We'll continue with more of the game. T-Town, Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports. Every Friday here on the game is always powered by Brian Harden Construction, industrial contractors and fabrication, laser cutting, CNC machines, reverse engineering, experience you can count on. Let's build something together. BHardenConst.com, and we're looking for people to become a part of our winning team. Structural welders, pipe fitters, you'll find those at Brian Harden Construction. Let them guide you, and if they're not able to help you, they can
Hyde and Downey are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
The Paint Spot, Philip Williams, locally owned and operated since 1971. Quality paint, expert advice. Bigger, medium projects. I recommend renting the airless paint sprayer. Northport, right off McFarland Boulevard, right past Highway 43. 15th Street in Tuscaloosa, close to the Hardin's Bakery. 1971. Philip Williams, locally owned and operated. The Paint Spot, you'll find the quality paint, the expert advice. If you're redoing a
30 miles, and if they don't have what you need, they'll get it. Cypress Supply, 2036 62nd Avenue, Tuscaloosa. Cypress-supply.com.
El Grant is the great Mexican place in Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Go over to see my friends Carlos, 205-391-4555, 62 McFarland Boulevard, Monday through Thursday, 11 until 9:30. Friday and Saturday, 11 until 10:30. Sunday, also open 11 until 9. You'll find the great daily lunch specials. You'll find great entrees, including the great fajitas, great desserts. The kids menu, always welcome. The call-ahead orders as well. El Gran on McFarland Boulevard. You'll find it at Winn-Dixie Shopping Center.
Follow Tide 100.9 on Facebook today to watch our live shows, read the great articles, and interact with Bama fans today.
Tell them bring another round. We need plenty more.
Oh, I like this. Good stuff, man. Good energy. We got a little bit delayed here. We're 22 days away. Brought to you by Alabama Credit Union, alabamacu.com. Checking, savings, mortgage, home equity loan, financing a vehicle. We are 22 days away. Brought to you by Alabama Credit Union. I do want to remind you about R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, 2703 6th Street, R&R Cigars. Relax and recharge. Relax and recharge. R&R Cigars. Relax and recharge. R&R Cigars. In 2703 6th Street, 1,000 different cigars to choose from, the walk-in humidor. Go down and see Reagan and Randy Starner. We appreciate those guys for being a part of our show. Let's go to Nick Sheridan talking about what he's looking for in this first scrimmage, because this is the question that we're asking you. We only have 2 guests today. Phone lines completely jammed up. We're going to Stephen in Raleigh, North Carolina, coming up here in a second. Joe in Dothan, I see you. Blueberry Steve up in Montreal, I see you. Tommy, I got you. Marty, I see you. We'll get to you. But let's go to Nick Sheridan, what he's looking for coming into this first scrimmage, number 1, tomorrow afternoon inside Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. You know it's not been officially named.
I think simple execution, taking care of the football, communication, alignment, assignment. Those are the things you're looking for in the first scrimmage.
Okay, simple things, huh? One more time, I want to make sure, because he sounds very confident, but listen to him one more time. This is what Nick Sheridan is looking for.
I think simple execution, taking care of the football, communication, alignment, assignment. Those are the things you're looking for in the first scrimmage.
He said alignment, assignment, no turnovers, protecting the football, simple execution. Sounds like a confident coach, if you ask me. Isn't that what I mean?
It's the way he said simple execution to me that made him sound so confident.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a little confidence in his football team. And Nick Sheridan, I've heard a lot of good things about him. Can't wait to see him in game when the action begins to fly. Stephen and Raleigh, get ready. We're talking to you in 2 minutes. T-Town Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Northport Power Equipment, largest inventory Husqvarna dealer in the Southeast. You'll find the Husqvarna models for residential and the professional landscapers, Skag commercial mowers, residential mowers, backpack blowers, handheld blowers, battery-operated tools. The service department at Northport Power Equipment.
Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
The best sports talk show in all of Alabama.
All right, I lied. I said I was going to take Stephen, but it's at 58 minutes after the hour. We're going to hard break at top of the hour. Stephen, I'm going to be respectful to you because you've waited your turn. I want to give you plenty of time on the other side. So let me play real quick a Nick Sheridan audio on Jeremy Bernard, and then we'll get to break, and then we'll come back. Because I don't know how I got so off. I went long with Brent Beard. That's what it was. Because it wasn't Paul. It was Brent that I went. I did. I kept asking him tons and tons of questions. So, Stephen, like I said, I'm going to be respectful to you. Nick Sheridan talking about Jeremy Bernard. Real quick audio clip.
I think Jeremy has been awesome and has had a great camp and had a great spring, and he's a really good football player. Certainly, in addition to that, his leadership, his character, who he is as a person, his willingness to help those around him. He wants his teammates to do well, and obviously has knowledge of the system, has played in it, previously. And so Jerem's been great, and we're lucky to have him.
Wow. You think about the player we learned and we talked to on Wednesday, going to be a big anchor in that wide receiver room. That's a part that'll get you excited when you listen to people talking about Jeremy Bernard there. They don't bring guys that are kind of just halfway doing it. It's kind of a reward system. I know it's not, fun to talk to media, but it's also a chance where you can build that brand, right? Build that brand. Jeremy Bernard built that brand on Wednesday, and we've played some of the audio clips. We'll continue with more. Stephen and Raleigh, I promise you, I will get you next break unless the creek doesn't, what do they always say? The creek doesn't rise. What's that old saying? I'm trying to think.
Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Stephen, I'll get you next. T-Town Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Or find us on Facebook, Andrew Conifer Agency. Once again, you can reach us at 205-722-9201. Allstate, are you in good hands?
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
The Dallas Cowboys say quarterback Dak Prescott is not practicing today for precautionary reasons due to ankle soreness. NFL media reports the New England Patriots are releasing receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. At the Olympics today, the United States won the gold medal in the women's 4x100-meter relay. The U.S. women's basketball team defeated Australia in the semifinals 85-64, led by Brianna Stewart's 16.6 rebounds and 5 assists. The United States now on a 60-game winning streak at the Olympics. They will face either France or Belgium for the gold medal on Sunday as the United States seeks its 8th consecutive gold medal. The U.S. men's volleyball team defeated Italy to win the bronze medal, and a thrilling match in the men's soccer final. It saw Spain prevail over France in extra time 5-3.
MedCenterUrgentCare.com. We expect the unexpected. Locations in Tuscaloosa, Northport, North River, right there off Rice Mine Road, Fayette, Demopolis, Hoover. The great doctors, urgent care, family medicine, injuries, occupational health, sports physicals. We do expect the unexpected.
/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Big Mike's downtown Moundville, only about 15 minutes from where I'm located. Also in Gunnersville, Alabama, Thomasville, Andalusia, Auburn, Alabama, Orange Beach. You'll find one of the best steaks in the state of Alabama, voted by the Alabama Cattlemen's Association and many other great publications recognizing the great ribeye, the seafood entrees. You'll find those, the great service.
Visit us at 3537 Skyland Boulevard East or check us out online, bmwoftuscaloosa.com. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 92, tonight's low 71. For the weekend, the humidity values come down. A good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Daytime highs around 90. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9.
Everything. She loves to move, she loves to groove, she loves a lot of things. All night, oh, every night.
And we are always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com, 3325 Skyland Boulevard and online at TuscaloosaToyota.com. It is a free-for-all Friday sponsored by Brian Harden Construction, ASME certification, I-beam, installation, fabrication. We're also looking to grow our winning team, pipe welders, pipe fitters, structural welders. You'll find bhardenconst.com, bhardenconst.com, bhardenconst.com. And coming up, we'll take a lot of phone calls until 4:30. Our next guest, we're going to be talking about John Hannah, Nate Oates, and Cedric Burns. What do those guys have in common? We'll talk about it coming up at 4:30 with a pigskin kickoff opportunity here. The legendary Hall of Famer here in Tuscaloosa. Stephen, Raleigh, North Carolina. Stephen, I hope all is well, man. Welcome into the game in T-Town.
Ryan Fowler, how the heck are you doing today?
Man, it's a good day. It's highly energized. Scrimmage number one. It almost, it feels like two different parts of camp. So far, our eyes have confirmed what we thought this football team was going to be of. Need to see it tomorrow.
Hey, before I get on Alabama, what they're doing up there in Ann Arbor is straight out of the Auburn playbook.
It is. You took the words out of my mouth.
It's thumb your nose and shoot your fingers at the NCAA. I mean, the guy has a show cause, and you're going to be your captain for your first game of the year. And Ryan, that's not even for the investigation of the sign stealing yet. That what he came out the other day is previous to the sign stealing.
Yeah, I mean, there is just, when you look at all of this different it's a win at all costs. I mean, that's where the world of college football, because, and really a lot of this, oh man, this is going to sound like an arrogant comment. They could not keep up with Alabama. Alabama was fixed to leave them in the dust. You know anything about drag racing?
I've been to the Huntsville Speedway a few times. The Huntsville Dragway.
So you got nitrous, which is something that, if you're a street racer, which I was never a street racer, my old man was, back in the muscle cars back in the 70s, and you would hide different things. You'd have little tricks. You'd put nitro in ways that people couldn't find it, and, that'd give you the chance to win some cash out on the street. And that's where we're at in college football. Alabama was so far ahead of everybody that we started kind of cultivating this mentality of, okay, if we're going to keep up with Alabama, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, you either cheat or you get beat. That's where we're at.
Ryan, it is where we're at, and I believe that people are going to have a conniption fit come this fall when they see what Alabama still is. So, but when it comes to our scrimmage tomorrow,
okay.
Nick Sheridan almost took the words out of my mouth. I'm looking for, can the quarterbacks get us in the correct play, in and out of the correct play? Does the communication with the new headphone set, is that seamless? Lane Kiffin said it was a cheat code for him to have that headset and be able to talk to the player. I've wondered about that headset, Ryan, and how that headset cuts off at 15 seconds on the play clock. Do we snap it at 15 seconds? Or do we not move, or do we not go in any motion until after that headset
You
goes
talking about
off?
from an up-tempo standpoint?
Yes. That way if you snap it at 15 seconds, the other team can't talk to their defense about anything that we're about to do, or you just don't go into motion. You don't run any of your motion that is evidently so prevalent in this offense until after the headset cuts off. That way the defense can't talk to the sideline about it. I'm interested to see how that goes, really. That's going to be one of the early season things I'm going to watch. And like Coach Sheridan said, no turnovers. The first scrimmage, you're just looking to execute what you know so far. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I like what you're talking about. I mean, just to be able to see. I mean, he said simple execution. Simple execution.
Well, Ryan, with whatever they have already in place as far as install.
Okay.
If that right this second, they don't have the entire, what they'll have in November installed is probably not installed right now. And if you're having trouble executing what you have installed right now, it doesn't bode well for the future. So I can see simple execution being one of the things they're looking for. It's a first scrimmage. We all have to remember that. It's a first scrimmage. It's not week 3. So
it's not. No, it's not. It's not. And I think that's, when you look at this Alabama football team, but I would say right now, based on what I've heard, I think they're a step ahead of where they thought they'd be. I mean, 8 practices in. Now, this coaching staff's never going to tip that off in a media availability, but I think they're further ahead than what they thought they were going to be. I mean, I've talked to some people inside the building that, that this team, while all the negative naysayers were out here talking and they were throwing darts at this football team, all they did is went to work. They went to work. You can see that. You can see it in the amount of, David Ballou. I'm sorry. Is it Matthew Ballou? For some reason, I've got that. But, the strength conditioning coach. It was Dr. David Ray. Wasn't it David Ray?
Ballou.
It was David
Ballou, isn't it?
It's Matthew Ray.
David
It was
Ballou.
Matthew Ray and David Ballou. And I've got those reversed because both of them came here as a combo, right? It was Dr. Ray and Ballou from Indiana coming here. Ray went to the Saints like year number 1. The college game the big boy college football was not for him. So Ballou stayed. and has the relationship with Kalen and Kane and Nick Sharon and all those guys in Indiana. So, but they busted their butt. I mean, if Alabama has the team that we think, we'll look back at this offseason and say that's where it was won.
You know, Ryan, you talked about the kicker a few minutes ago. What's his name?
Graham Nicholson. Graham Nicholson. He was the Lou Groza Award winner.
Graham Nicholson. You know, did you hear Kalen DeBoer the other day in his interview say it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts when he misses a kick? Does that mean he hasn't seen him miss a kick in practice yet?
Go back to that on Monday. Did he say that?
Yeah, he said he flipped it right in the middle of the interview talking about Graham Nicholson. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts when he misses a kick. And I just wondering, has he not seen him miss a kick?
Okay, because I'm the one that asked the question, but I'm trying to think how he said what he did. Look, Wyatt, when you get it, you just play it, and Steve and I can react to it. But
Hey, Ryan, while he's doing that, I have a quick.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a quick basketball question. Has Coach Oates had his boot camp week with the basketball team yet? Have you heard him talk about that?
You know, I don't know that answer.
Normally it's in the summertime.
It is.
And normally we have film on like how they did. I just wondering if he was doing that this year because he's done it every year.
Think about how we learned that is through social networks, did we not?
Yeah, he always put it on social media.
Yeah. So, hey, let's go because I don't have the answer to that. I don't know.
Okay.
But
just whenever you hear it, if you ever hear that word, just spew it out there.
And like I said, I'll be doing that speaking engagement August the 26th. So I'm sure we'll talk a lot about his, the upcoming expectations are probably, it's been a long time since they were this high coming off the Final Four appearance at first time in school history. But let's go back here to the conversation with Kalen DeBoer talking about the specialist. You heard something. Let's see what he said.
He's been really consistent, and honestly, all our kickers have, but specifically with Graham, I stand behind the kicker pretty much. I mean, I try to make it every kick. There might be one I miss here and there, but that ball flight is what you're looking for. I like his mindset. He's a very confident guy. I don't really know how he's going to respond when he misses one, and maybe right. But he's just great to have with us. I think the team has really, accepted him in. I think he feels a part of it. And so, you can't help but look at what he's done in the past and already note that, man, this guy's really good. But you can see why each and every day. Got a good process about him. And we're glad he's here and, burn up.
Okay. But I will tell you something they're doing. I gave the audience a little bit a couple of days ago when we were talking about the specialists. One of the things that they're doing with the kickers, and it's kind of putting pressure on them, is when they're attempting a kick, they pretty much circle the kicker. If you can imagine, the kicker's out here and he's attempting a kick. They group around. Now, this is closed media, so I've got this kind of from behind the scenes. But what they're doing is they're taking the kicker and they're giving him a couple of lanes to hit the ball between the uprights, but they get all the way around. Not the team snaps the football just like a regular snap would be in any place kick. And they're getting around the kicker. And they're literally screaming, doing jumping jacks, all these different things right around the kicker to simulate pressure, right? Your teammates are screaming at you. And then what it is just to try to get him mentally ready to go. Not saying he's not ready to go, but it's just another challenge for those kickers. Not just out here kicking against air and no pressure. They're saying we're going to create in this static and the distraction. So one of the things they're doing. I love the way they practice, man, whether it's the wide receiver drills, lot going on. They have a different practice format than we've seen under Coach Saban. Not saying it's better, just saying it's different.
It's exciting, Ryan. I appreciate you you do. Roll Tide, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Stephen in Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go here to Joe in Dothan. I'm sorry, I was a little late there. Joe, good afternoon, Joe. You're in the game.
Doing well, Ryan. How are you today?
Good. Is that Eastern?
Good call from Stephen and Raleigh there. And I tell you what, as usual, Paul from Lincoln came in, dropping the hammers, drop the hammer on Kamala and Tim, what's his face? Bam! Dropped the hammer on Hugh Hefner, Hunter Freeze. Bam!
Okay.
I tell you what, he was dropping hammers.
Joe, let me ask you this, okay? Basketball season starts on that Monday prior to the election. Tuesday is the big day, the Save America Day. Will we be able to control Paul and Lincoln between now and Tuesday? Like, as we get closer, if he's this way on August the 9th, Joe, would you give me some advice? I mean, what can I do here? I mean, I
don't know, Ryan. That's a good question. I mean, he's like a caged animal. It's going to be very difficult. And just think about it, Ryan. That not just the basketball game the day before, but if you'll recall, I'm pretty sure that the LSU game is the Saturday before that Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Or it's Saturday before or Saturday after.
It's Saturday after.
I know that.
It's Saturday after.
Okay.
So
what a week.
But matter of fact, that'll be a bye week. So, but I know that the ballots will already be in, or at least most of them. So we'll just have to count them on that Tuesday. But and I just found a box of ballots here, and I've already filled them out, and I'm going to ship them to. What state would you like for me to ship these to, Joe? You feel like there's a state out there that needs these ballots? You got?
Well, it all depends. I guess I'd say Wisconsin or Michigan, probably. Let me get back to you on that. Let me track some polls, and I'll hit you up on the social network.
Yeah, I mean, New York City looks like it could be a swing state.
I tell you what, Ryan, you nailed it with you and Paul were discussing the Barners, and I got to tell you, the delusion has never, ever been more peak.
And you know why
from that fan base than it is right now.
Do you know why it's there?
What's that?
You know why it's there, Joe? Because of what Alabama's been able to do. Alabama, because they had Alabama bailed out. Oh, Alabama, they're falling down. I mean, what do they call him? Something Harsin. What was the word they were using?
Husky
Harsin. And so Alabama's not drifted away. They can see it from an Auburn perspective. I mean, that's where because
I tell you what, Ryan, I heard we have a local sports talk radio show here in the morning.
Okay.
We have one from 12 to 2.
Okay.
And today I heard an Auburn fan. I'm not kidding. I wish I were. They were discussing the upcoming season, and he was, going on and on and on. And I was kind of halfway listening, and all of a sudden I hear him say, and I'm not making this up, he said, quote, "I think we have one of the best secondaries in the country." I almost said that with a straight face, Ryan. They really are delusional, Ryan. And let me tell you something about Hugh Hefner, Hunter Freeze. No amount of burner phones or bag men is going to save. Okay, if he doesn't start winning games on the field, those recruits, they're going to start decommitting. So all this excitement about recruiting, what happens if they go 7-5 or 6-6 this season? You think most of those players are going to stay committed? I don't.
No. I mean, what if they have another losing season? This makes 4. I mean, they're fearing the thumb as it is, right? I mean, you're fearing the thumb. I mean, think about that. I mean,
I would say that the thumb is very much feared right now.
Oh no! It should be. I mean, they may not, but it should be. Man, I mean, compared. But I mean, Joe, be honest though. Okay, man, I'm sitting here criticizing Auburn. Joe, let me go back. What was it? January the 13th? Is that when Nick Saban retired?
Somewhere around in there, yeah, 10th or 12th or 13th, I think.
Is that okay? I can tell you
somewhere in there. I think you're probably right.
No, you're right. You're right. 13th was the day that he was announced. The 10th is when he retired. Joe, I want to walk you back to January the 10th. 4:03 in the afternoon. I was live on the air when Nick Saban announced via Chris Lowe that he was retiring. Wyatt came into my studio, and I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget it. It was like a bonding moment with him and I because he came over and handed me. I was talking to John McClain, Houston Chronicle. I haven't featured John since then. I don't want to because I'm nervous. I don't know what else happened. But Joe, what if I would have told you at 4:05 that coming up in August, Alabama would be in the national championship conversation? What would you have told me?
I would have been very skeptical, to say the least.
Would you have paid my psychiatrist visit?
No, I wouldn't go that far, but I would be like, Ryan, I think you're doing a little sunshine. You're chapsticking. I would have told you you were chapsticking.
Yes. I mean, but if I would have told you on January the 10th, hey, don't worry. They're going to have a coach that's good. All I'm saying is, and I said this in Norman, Oklahoma today, and I may have said on Drew's show this morning, talking ball up in Huntsville, that the transition has been a lot smoother than I ever thought it would be.
Oh, no, same here. I could have never envisioned it going this smoothly, Ryan. I couldn't be happier. And let me tell you, I want to say one other thing. You mentioned about Brian Kelly earlier in the show, Ryan. I think he's a good coach. I really do. But I'm of the opinion, Ryan, that he got way too much credit for that first season, in my opinion. If you look at the game we played in Baton Rouge, we gave that game away. I'll always believe that. They won the game, give them credit. But it was ours to win, and we absolutely just blew it in so many different ways. And if you look at what happened, then they turned around and got stomped at Texas A&M by a bad Texas A&M team. They ended up with 4 or 5 losses that year, Ryan. They went to the SEC championship game and got smoked. So what did you really accomplish? Yes, he's recruiting well for now, but, I mean, if you can recruit the state of Louisiana, you should be recruiting well. I'm just saying, I think the jury is definitely still out on him. Now, as far as the toughest second game this year, I'm going to say
you were saying Brian Kelly, the jury's still out.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna use some crawfish analogy with my prediction, because when he was announced as a coach, I said he'd win a national title in the first 5 years. After year number 1, Joe, I was looking really good. Now I'm ready to sell the stock. I don't think put this, Matt Moscana, put this on your YouTube channel. And he's a buddy of mine, so I like to pick on him.
I know.
So I don't think this team, do they look like a team that can win a national title in the first 5 years? What is this? Is this year number 3 for him?
Number 3, yeah.
It's not going to happen this year.
I'll tell you, Ryan, I'm going to agree with Paul and Lincoln, though, as far as I'm going to say it's a toss-up between at Tennessee and at Oklahoma. And I know we were just talking about LSU, and I realize that will be a tough game. I mean, it even in years where we've won, a lot of times it's been a nail biter some years. But if you look back at just history, Ryan, I think we've got about 5 losses in Baton Rouge since like the 1950s. So I like our chances in that one. But I will say I think the second toughest game will be either at Knoxville or at Oklahoma. I'll give you my opinion, Ryan. I think people are underselling Oklahoma a little bit. I don't think they're going to be like a world beater or anything, but they're a pretty good football team. I think they won 9 or 10 games last year, and people are kind of selling them short. They're almost like an afterthought.
They were double-digit wins.
Right.
And so, and remember,
and being on the road,
remember
a stadium
now,
we haven't
also
visited in over 20 years, I think it's going to be a tough game.
Well, and here's the other thing is, that big TCU defensive lineman that everybody was after? You know who got him, don't you? Oklahoma.
Yeah.
He, LSU wanted him. Man, they were screaming, please, please, please come down here. He went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm just saying, I think that's going to be one of the tougher games of the year, especially with it being, I don't know if people realize, to me, that's a really big deal that we go from all these years, us and Auburn both, of having scrub games, like a Western Carolina or somebody.
It is a big deal.
The week before the Iron Bowl, all of a sudden you're playing at Oklahoma. That's a really, really big deal. Okay. And I don't hear it talked about enough.
All right, Joe, and here's the thing, and I'm sorry, I'm really, we're off into the crazy stuff here, but when you look at Oklahoma, Vegas has them at 7.5 win total.
Over.
Okay, let's just play. Let's play the win-loss game. Temple 1, fair. Houston 2, Tulane 3, Tennessee at home. Josh Heupel's return to his alma mater.
Toss up, but possible.
All right, at Auburn, first road game.
Probably a win, but you know what happens in that stadium? Weird things. You never know. But I'll give them a win.
Okay, so now you're at 4. Then you got Texas in the red. Well, it depends on if you're, one of those bleeding hearts where we no longer say Red River Shootout. We now say Red River Rivalry. Regardless, it's a big game in Dallas.
They won last year, but let's give them a loss for that one.
Okay. South Carolina.
win.
I mean, we've seen high school teams just as good. Sorry, Corey, I didn't mean to. So that's South Carolina in Norman. Come on. I mean, at Ole Miss.
Beat down.
At Ole Miss.
Toss up.
Maine.
Win.
At Missouri, which I'm a little bit bearish on Eli Drinkowitz. I just.
Yeah, he's going to have to. I mean, they had a really good year last year, Ryan, but they're going to have to put together back-to-back good years before me to get on that hype train. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know they have a lot of players returning.
So we
quarterback, receiver, that's great.
To go over, we've got to find one in the last three. At Missouri, Alabama, and at LSU.
I think they get one of those. I hope it's not ours, but I think they get one of them. I think they get either at LSU or at Missouri. I think they win one of those.
So
games.
would you say Alabama and Oklahoma? Oklahoma's the second toughest opponent? Is that what you're saying?
I would say right now I'd have it a tie between them and the Tennessee road game as the two of the second toughest games on the schedule. Now Missouri at home, if they are what they're advertised to be, that could be a very tough game. But I'm still, with those games being on the road, I would lean towards those two.
Hey, Joe, great call, man. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, you too, Ryan. Thanks. Roll Tide.
Hey, let me remind you about the Wharf. If you're looking for a new pair of boots, Justin, Tony Lima, Red Wing, Georgia, Double H, Timberline, Laredo, and many more. You'll find the Wrangler, Levi Lee. You'll find those Carhartt Clothing, Rocky Clothing. They're open until 6 p.m. You can find them conveniently located. The work and Western wear for the entire family since 1976. But right there on McFarland Boulevard, right past the old Winn-Dixie Shopping Center, El Grande's right there. And then you'll also find the Blue Plate sandwiched in between there on the newly renovated shopping center. They did a redo. Plenty of inventory. You'll find all types of jeans. It's back to school for a lot of the kids, Western wear, as long as I know that a lot of folks still participate in the work in Western wear, the boots. You'll find those, steel-toed boots, just casual boot, Western wear for the entire family. You'll find it at the Wharf. Go see those guys since 1976. Go over and see my friends, Mark and Lee. Go tell them the game sent you. We'll continue with more phone calls. We'll get to those. Coming up next, T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Now, this hour's West Alabama real-time news update from the Tuscaloosa Thread Newsroom.
Northport's Big Lot Discount Department Store is one of 315 underperforming locations that will be closed nationwide. The announcement is part of the company's filing with the Security and Exchange Commission. According to first quarter quarterly results, the retailer has seen sales decline by $114 million in the first quarter of 2024. Malachi Moore and Jalen Milroe have been named to the Walter Camp watch list. For all these stories and more,
code BETTER for 15% off your first purchase. Love it or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code BETTER to save 15% today.
Blue Spring Living Water is located in Bluntsville, Alabama, Blount County, about an hour north of Birmingham. Blue Spring Living Water is harvested and bottled from a centuries-old natural spring on a private family farm. Blue Spring is an all-natural water source that flows just under 1 million gallons a day. They have partnered with Waterway of Alabama, and they've been in the water delivery business for over 30 years. To have Blue Spring Living Water delivered right to your home, right to your front door every month. New customers get their 5 jugs for $50, and the empties are exchanged every month for new ones. I know we have it at the Fowler household. We drink more water because of BlueSpringLivingWater.com. You can sign up at 205-602-3426. Talk to someone directly. Blue Spring Living Water can also be found Mark's Mark, downtown Northport, Publix, Piggly Wiggly, and in the southern part of our listing area, Rouse's Supermarket. BlueSpringLivingWater.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 92, tonight's low 71. For the weekend, the humidity values come down. A good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Daytime highs around 90. I'm James Spann.
Back into the game here in Tuscaloosa. T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Let's go to Tommy and Romulus. Tommy, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
All is well. How are you?
Good, man. Good. It's a good day. Good day to be alive.
Yes, it is.
It's better than the alternative.
For sure. Sure. The only thing I'm looking forward to out of the practice tomorrow and for the season is cutting down on silly penalties, jumping off sides, motion, starting early, something that will put our quarterback in like second or 15 or first or 20 or something like that, where we have to throw the ball. I know we're going to throw the ball more, where we put us in position to make bigger plays and not be a good game manager of the game, so we won't lead to turnovers. And I would like to see Delph pass the first starting 5 or 6 on the offensive line. That's what I'm looking for and kind of concerned. You know, we can solve those problems. We're going to be just fine.
Okay.
Like I said, 3 weeks from tomorrow, 22 days, a Bill Oliver, a Johnny Musso, a Michael Vaughn, Tony Nathan.
Mark Ingram, first Heisman winner at the University of Alabama. So
yeah, I mean, there's more than one famous people who wore a lot of these numbers. I mean, it goes with the number 10, 12, 14, 15. I mean, the list goes on and on. So
I know you remember seeing him play, but what number did Don Hudson wear, Tommy?
14.
Okay, thank you.
Did I help you?
Thank you. Yeah, what type of playing style did he have, Tommy? I mean, what do you remember about him?
Oh, he was smooth. I mean, he was like Coach Bryant was the other end. He was like rough and tumble. They said Don Hudson, I know this is a wise tale, they said you throw the ball, he could cradle that ball in like he was catching a nest full of robins or robin eggs. He just had the hands for it.
I got you.
He had the system. That's what the old timers have told me. I mean, so, you know. And it's funny, Coach Bryant wore the number 12 when he, at times, when he was the other end. And funny, our quarterback, Dixie Howard, at that time, wore 52. Isn't that odd? Offensive lineman wore 12 and 14. The quarterback wore 52.
Yeah, you're talking about Harry Gilmer.
No, that was a Dixie Howard with Bryant and
Okay. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay, so Harry Gilmer would have wore.
I think he wore 52.
I thought he wore 52 too. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, that was just an odd number for a quarterback back then. I mean, today that's an odd.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Harry Gilmer wore 52.
Yeah.
I got that. I got this cool thing, Tommy. It's called internet.
Yes, and I want you to apologize to me on the radio how you insulted me the other day, calling me a liar.
Oh, well, the guy that called in and said he was down at Romulus? And
Yes. After you said, when you asked me what was the point average per game for Alabama, I said 34. Well, I bought 3 magazines this year.
Oh, you did?
I looked, and I did math. I still do math, and I figured out a while ago.
Tommy, I got to ask you a question because I know how cheap you are.
I am cheap. Thank you.
Did you steal it? Which doctor's office did you steal those magazines from?
The chiropractor.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Because he had free Ollie magazine too for the schedule. Take Ollie. You know, no, I'm not going to tell you.
So how do you swap them out of that? I mean, do you put them in your bag? I mean, you put them in your sock. I mean, how do you pull this off?
I roll them up. Said, man, this is a cheap looking. Man, this magazine outdated.
It's one of those free take ones. Okay.
Yeah. After I write it on there,
Yeah, I guess you could open one of those lifestyle free publications and kind of put it on the inside and then close it and you'd be good. You know, act like it's just one of those, right?
Well, sure.
Well, that's a thick one of those prime lifestyles that I see in all the doctor's offices.
Fill Extremes.
Yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah. Hey, I didn't realize this was such a nice gesture.
Well, I mean, you need techniques on how to be cheap. I can help you out.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Tell us about that taco night, Tommy.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Every Tuesday night in Foster, they have dollar tacos, and they're nice-sized tacos. You need to give the nice people in Foster's.
I mean, even Taco Bell doesn't do a $1 taco day. So are you?
No, these are better tacos.
Okay, so
than Taco Bell.
Do you go? They have lettuce on it. I mean, does it have?
Well, sure.
So
and trust
for
me,
those who are
it's
brand
not
new
like
listeners,
Robert-
Tommy goes and gets 2 tacos, drinks a glass of water, eats
No, I
chips
get
and salsa.
3. Well, I'm not that cheap. I get 3. I want a good meal.
And he gets a glass of water, and he eats all the chips he can possibly eat.
That's right.
And throws
It's
down $1. So he spent $4 on a meal.
No, $1.25. Come on, Ryan. I want the girl to go to college. I mean, my God.
You do realize that the Biden inflation numbers.
I don't see how they do it still.
Okay.
On Tuesday night. It's one night a week. It's not every night. Tuesday night is dollar taco night. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but it's a nice little Mexican restaurant in Foster, Alabama, in the little shopping center by the U of Ed.
I bet if I walked in there and I said, "You guys know Tommy and Rami?" I said, "Oh yeah, he's cheap guy. Cheap guy."
Cheap guy. They know me by my voice. Yeah. Another water, please. Another water. Yeah. They know me. Yeah. I mean, another water. Water around the house. I mean, I'm great. I'm known. You know, what can I say? So, I want you to apologize for calling me a liar the other day. So, I mean, I did my...
I'm sorry. It was JR out in Coker was talking about the cell phone guy. I think it was JR, but yeah. All right, Tommy, what do you want to see from practice? What do you want to see from practice?
I just don't want to see mistakes, but I just want to see when we develop in depth along the offensive line. To me, that is a critical point of the team. To me, I mean, and depth in the secondary. Who's going to be next up, ready to play if something happens? And we're going to play for a national championship, 17 games, a lot of games, and people are going to get banged up and nicked up. So, I mean,
all right. Hey, Jason writes in and says, I vouch for that restaurant Tommy is talking about. So, you got somebody believes in you. So,
see, I'm a truth seeker. I do not. What have I told you 100 times? You don't listen. Nobody else does. I am a storyteller, but I'm not a liar. It's your job to figure out the facts from the fiction. I just put it out there.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, man. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later.
You do as well. Blueberry Steve, get ready. We're coming to you 2 minutes away. T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports. Southern Ale House, 1530 McFarland Boulevard. As you know, it's one of my favorite places. Eat Southern, be Southern, the daily lunch and dinner specials, the great menu that features that Southern cuisine, like the bacon wrap meatloaf, the fish and taters, the biscuit sandwiches, the great steaks, the great chicken entrees, great sandwiches, including the pickle burger, the Ale House burger, the yard bird, great desserts, and always that featured bread pudding that Brett Garner's cooking up. Let Southern Ale House cater.
They bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Touchdown savings, birdie goal.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pat's Florist and Gourmet Baskets in downtown Tuscaloosa, 1010 Queen City Avenue. For over 60 years, they've been serving our community. They specialize in a large inventory of fresh flowers, weddings, gourmet fruit baskets. If you're trying to lift someone's spirits, it is Pat's Florist Gourmet Baskets by calling 205-345-5093. Delivery options are available, but it's more than just flowers at Pat's Florist and Gourmet Baskets, 1010 Queen City Avenue. If you're celebrating an anniversary, birthday, get well, love, and romance, trying to lift with someone's spirits, it's Pat's Florist and Gourmet Baskets in downtown Tuscaloosa.
With only 43 seconds remaining, facing a 4th and goal from the 31-yard line at Jordan-Hare Stadium, quarterback Jalen Milroe finds himself under immense pressure, scrambling to connect with Isaiah Bond in the corner of the end zone for a miraculous come-from-behind victory over Auburn. The jaw-dropping 27-24 result came on the 10th anniversary of the Kick Six. Daniel Moore is proud to announce 4th and 31, his upcoming oil painting featuring the now famous Gravedigger play. New Life Art is now accepting pre-orders for limited edition fine art prints and canvases of 4th and 31. See the preliminary pencil sketch for the artist's full color painting at danielmooreart.com. Pre-order your artwork.
DEAL or text DEAL to 511-511.
Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Don Wallace CPA, 527 Main Avenue in downtown Northport. Small business and personal income taxes, payroll, sales tax needs. They can also help you with nonprofit or church accounting or auditing. In business since 1999, they work for you, not the IRS. When you take on taxes, you got to have someone on your side. It's Don Wallace CPA, 205-345-5595, 205-345-5595. Don Wallace CPA, the official accountant of the game.
Where the legends of Alabama football head
To that kind of place. Knee-deep in the hoopla.
All right, we welcome you right back into the game here in Tuscaloosa. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Let's go to Blueberry Steve. Blueberry Steve, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
Ryan, all is well.
Good.
All is
good.
great, except that it's pouring rain up here in Montreal.
Oh, please.
But that's okay.
Can we borrow a little bit of that? We promised to pay you back.
You will. All right. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
How much time do I have? For this call?
33 minutes.
Perfect. I'm going to use 32 and a half.
Okay. Just be generous.
Okay. First of all, I just have to say, Free for All Friday, sponsored by Brian Hardy Construction.
It is.
What is going to happen if Kamala wins? It won't be Free for All Friday. It'll be Free for No One Friday.
We will start, our prize package will be reduced. We'll start giving out ramen noodles is what we're going to do. And we're going to give away bicycles is what we're going to do. Ramen noodles and bicycles, because we're going to need to eat ramen noodles, and we'll all have to be learning how to pedal a bike, because we won't be able to afford gasoline, petroleum. And it's just more than, it's in a lot of healthcare products. So, she's such an idiot. She's literally told, and here's the stupidity of these politicians. Okay, you don't have to drill. Okay, you just have to threat that you're going to drill. So you have to say, I'm willing to drill. We're willing to take our own natural resources. And what happens? Saudi Arabia floods the market through OPEC, and they flood the market with barrels of oil, and the price comes down. But when you tell them, it's kind of like your poker face, right? If you show them your cards, nobody's going to bet against you, right? Oh, I could beat that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to bet you. So, she's out here going, no fracking. What do you mean? Like I said, so she's telling them you're not willing to do it. Well, we're gonna ban it today. Well, what does that do? Then Iraq says, we're not lowering our gas, our petroleum, our barrel. No, we're going to reduce and we're going to drive the market up. It's a simple. I mean, anybody that's taken basic econ in school, but she has to please the radicals. So she has to please that base.
And she's been, she went to high school up here in Montreal, right?
She did. Okay. Well, good.
Yeah. Calling her an idiot is an insult to idiots. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say that she's probably the lowest IQ person who has ever ran for the highest seat in the world, right? I mean, I'd love to know, because if she's this dumb or she's smart and she's putting on a really, really good show, and maybe that's, I've often thought there's no way that Joe can be that way, right? I mean, he's sometimes it's kind of to fake, this innocent old grandpa that's so harmless that they really can't do anything. That's what I look at it, maybe that's what they're doing with her. Is like, hey, what damage can she do? I mean, anyway, it's right. But I mean, really, but I mean, if you are a if you're from the other side of the ticket, shouldn't you be shouldn't you be like, to understand they just ripped the part of the election out where you can select a person?
I mean, they don't care. They don't care, Ryan. They are obsessed with power. They don't care about the country or the world, because you know as well as I know, as a Canadian and a proud Canadian, but you know, it's the United States of America that really controls and defends the free world. And so, I mean, it's the whole world that is at stake here. And besides, her VP, Tampon Tim, is completely owned by China. But anyways, no, don't try and control Paul. Don't try and control Paul. Cut him loose.
Just let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
Let him go. Let him go. Do you think it's possible that Kamala is a closet boog?
You know, that may be the entire problem, Blueberry Steve. You may have solved it right here.
Ask Paul to investigate this.
I got you.
Okay. Talking a little bit about, just one other thing. Why are you ignoring my Facebook account? I set up a Facebook account, and I only sent out one request, and it was to you. And
Blueberry Steve, I don't think I've got a friend request from you.
Yes, it's from Steve Austin. That's the name. They wouldn't let me use the name Blueberry Steve.
Okay, but do you have you already have a photo?
No, I don't have a photo.
I mean, okay.
My son, Krav Maga, John, and it's not Krav Maga, even though he is a Krav Maga guy, but it's Krav Maga. Krav Maga, John. He's going to help me.
I just fixed it. I found one. I just went through a search of my friends, and I found a couple of leftist global warming folks, and I eliminated one, and I put you in. So I was maxed out, but I just put you in.
Oh, thanks. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, found a global warming extremist, and I said, boom, you're out of here. Steve, you're in. So Blueberry Steve, you are now officially one of my friends on Facebook. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can we, just to change the subject, Stephen from Raleigh is a great caller.
He is.
I love his call. He's got great insight. Smart guy. I like Raleigh. Raleigh's a nice capital of North Carolina. Yeah. So the biggest challenge.
Okay.
I'm not worried about the dogs at home. I told you that before. The biggest challenge for me is Tennessee and Knoxville. Mind you, I will say this. Paul does have a point about the cold weather in Norman, except for the fact that maybe he's not aware of this, but I'm sure he is. Maybe didn't think of it. Possible that I thought of something that my friend Paul didn't. Coach DeBoer has plenty of experience getting his teams ready to play in cold weather, no? Agreed?
Say it one more time.
I said Coach DeBoer has plenty of experience. Getting his teams ready.
Yes. I don't think whatever his plan is of, holding frozen footballs or, making them warm with the quarterback. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Yeah, no.
So I mean, as much as I value Paul's expertise on everything, he might have, just kind of missed that one. He's probably going to send me a text and give me an argument. I love the guy. Your caller, Wayne, the other day talked about the importance of having replacements ready in case of injuries. Remember him when he called?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, he had a good call also. I'm worried, and Tommy also mentioned that earlier, call before last. I'm really worried about the backup center, Brian. I'm worried about the backup center.
The backup center, okay.
Yeah. Because I haven't heard anything about it. I don't know.
Well, they're in a little bit of a little bit of trouble. So
okay. All right.
I mean, and I say a little bit of trouble. That's exaggerating. Okay, they've probably got some options, but they're not Parker Brailsford. Parker's a good-looking prospect.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be a long season, once we get to the Natty, and we will. You wanted to ask, you said, what do I want to see after the scrimmage, right? What do you want to hear from? What do you want to hear about? Well, I want to hear about the chemistry between number 4 and number 81 or number 45. I told you before, I really like C.J. Dupree and Robbie Lutz. I really like the tight end, and I want to see a similar relationship with our QBs and tight ends as Tom Brady had with Gronk, turning those short passes into the flat and into 10-yard plus gainers. Because that will, I know the tight end is, as you told me before, and you're right, has to block, and they will, but just like have them just like fade out, just like drop it in there, those little dink and dunks. That's what I'm looking for. I want to see Jalen and Ty Simpson and I guess Austin Maxwell and Lonigan. I want to see them all if possible, but I want to see most importantly Jalen. The chemistry, build a chemistry between him and Dupree and Robbie. That's what I want to see.
Okay, good stuff. Blueberry Steve, appreciate you, man, as always.
Okay, man, roll Tide and roll MAGA.
Blueberry Steve, Montreal, Canada. I see you, Marty. Get ready. We're coming to you next. T-Town, Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama.
Visit us at 3537 Skyland Boulevard East or check us out online, bmwoftuscaloosa.com. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Don Wallace CPA, 527 Main Avenue in downtown Northport. Small business and personal income taxes, payroll, sales tax needs. They can also help you with nonprofit or church accounting or auditing. In business since 1999, they work for you, not the IRS. When you take on taxes, you got to have someone on your side. It's Don Wallace CPA, 205-345-5595, 205-345-5595. Don Wallace CPA, the official accountant of the game.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 92, tonight's low 71. For the weekend, the humidity value.
Tuscaloosa is blessed to have such an excellent team at the Madison Cancer Center.
Great things are happening at DCH.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
The Dallas Cowboys say quarterback Dak Prescott is not practicing today for precautionary reasons due to ankle soreness. NFL media reports the New England Patriots are releasing receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. At the Olympics, American Olivia Reeves just won the gold medal in women's weightlifting. A short time ago, American Rye Benjamin won the gold medal in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Earlier today, the United States won the gold medal in the women's 4x100-meter relay. The United States was the favorite in the men's 4x100 relay, but was disqualified because of a botched baton exchange that was deemed illegal in Canada, wound up winning the gold medal. The U.S. women's basketball team won its semifinal game over Australia 85-64, advancing to the gold medal game on Sunday, where they will face either France or Belgium.
Alabama Credit Union with the official countdown to Alabama Crimson Tide football right here on the game. AlabamaCU.com. The mobile app saves a lot of time. The mobile deposits, checking, savings, mortgage, home equity loan, financing a vehicle, the great competitive rates. Alabama Credit Union.
No matter how high the mercury rises, call Ox Home Services today at 205-979-0946 or visit oxhomeservices.com.
Rumsey Environmental, a one-stop shop serving West Alabama for all of your waste removal needs. If you're in the construction construction business, take a little bit of stress out of your life. The construction debris removal containers customized to fit your job site, the portable toilet service, the storage containers to protect your valuables. It's Rumsey Environmental for that complete waste removal service when you have to
/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
I got spirit, I got faith. I might bend, but I won't break. I'll fight the elements. And I'ma go down swinging. If I go down, I'ma go down swinging. If I go down, I'ma go down swinging. If I go down, I'ma go down swinging. If I go down. This ain't a home. Not even close.
All right, we are powered always by Tuscaloosa Toyota, the 2024 Highlander $429 lease with a $1,000 loyalty cash. The 2024 Toyota Corolla 3.99 APR for 36. If you look at the great sales event happening right now, it is the national sales event, the big one. It is the 2024 Tundra 1.99 APR for 36 plus a $2,000 loyalty cash. It is Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. We're doing a free-for-all Friday here, sponsored by Brian Harden Construction. And we continue with more phone calls. We go to Biscuit Bruce. Biscuit Bruce, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game. Hey, Biscuit. I can hear Biscuit. Let's put him back on. Let's go Marty, Arkansas. Marty, good afternoon. You're in the game.
How's it going, Ryan?
I'm good, man. I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just got done reading the first book of Third Saturday in October, where old Kenny Stabler threw that ball out of bounds. I thought it was fourth down. Bear kicked down the door. I don't think that game's the hardest game. To me, the second hardest game is going to be that Missouri game.
Second game is going to be the hardest?
Second game, Missouri game. They're going to come in there 7-0. They're better than you think. I live right here in the Boot Hill. They're a lot better than you think.
You mean you're talking about Alabama, the second game? We play Missouri like in October the 26th.
Yeah, but their second toughest game.
Oh, I'm sorry, second toughest game. You're saying the Missouri Tigers. So you believe in the Missouri Tigers? Okay.
Well, I live right here in the Boot Hill. I think they'll be all right. I got a lot of Missouri fans that live about 30 minutes away from me.
All right, so Marty. Going into the scrimmage tomorrow, what do you want to hear?
I want to see how the defense and where that pressure comes from. What the defense is going to get off, and what the line, if they're going to go one, what they're going to do, how they're going to come one-on-one and rush like that, and let the linebacker scrape and fill the hole and stuff like that. I want to see how this defense reacts and how that secondary at 5-2-5. That 4-2-5 and that secondary with those long arms knock those balls down. I'm not worried about the offense at all. And tomorrow, if we score 40 in the game, the defense is bad, and then if the defense plays better, offense, everybody knows everybody out there. Execute, like the coach said, execution and doing your part and getting better. That's what I want to see. But I want to see how the defense plays.
Okay. And hey, I think a lot of our eyes are focused on the defensive side of the football, Marty.
But I don't think we're going to be that bad, Ron. I really don't. I think this defense is going to surprise a lot of people in that 4-2-5.
I do as well. I mean, I think this defense is going to be better than what we anticipate. I'm not saying it's 2011 or 2016 good.
You know what? I get a little scared when I listen to the guy before you, because I get on, I start listening 15 minutes before sometimes on the Miller's Edge, and the guy in South Carolina, he says, we're so young and experienced, and he says, I've done that, and you got to have experience. Well, they've sat on the bench. I don't know how, they played. I know a little bit of experience, but a lot of these are 5-star, and they've gone up against the best talent, too. And some of these teams don't, like the first two teams, we got the better talent out there. And that's, we'll find out a lot more about this team when we go to Wisconsin. And that's when, mud football plays fast-paced football. But Ryan, Oklahoma's going to finish 6-6 or 5-7. I've talked to some of their friends. I mean, it's a long drive out to the border, but I mean, they don't think they'll be that good this year. They think 6-6 is going to be it, because they, like the one guy said out there, they're not in the Big 12 anymore, playing Kansas and Kansas State and that. They'll win the Red River rivalry to save the coach's job, but they're either going to be 6-6 or 5-7. I don't look at Oklahoma out there. Now, it might be a sloppy game come that time of year out there, but we'll beat Oklahoma.
Okay.
And in the first chapter of the new book, Kevin DeBoer goes to Knoxville and kicks butt.
Okay. I'll
Who do
take
you
it.
think will finish?
Well, I mean,
let me ask you this.
I go back to what Paul said about Norman. It just seems
I know it
like
can be
we're
snowy and it can be hot, but it don't matter. We can play.
I'm not talking about snowy and hot. I think Oklahoma's going to be a little bit better football team than we anticipate. I think Vegas may have them a little undervalued.
Nope. 6-6, Ryan. Write it down. And remember the goal.
6-6.
Remember the goal. What's our goal, Ryan? What's our goal? You already set the goal. You're supposed to put it up on the board.
Make
What's
the
the
college
goal?
football playoffs.
Nope. The goal is getting the championship.
Oh.
The goal is going to be getting that trophy and me and you going down to Walmart and getting our pictures took. That's the goal. And we're going to get the goal. Now, we might lose one game. I don't know where we're going to lose it, but we'll lose one game. I don't know where. And everyone, when the boy loses a game, everyone's going to go, you know what? It's where you finish, not where you start. I don't care if we start at number 15. I've seen 15 and teams not rated go all the way and win the national championship. It's not where you start. It's where you finish. And we're going to finish at the leader of the pack. We're going to start maybe at the back of the pack. And Georgia, they're going to get some of their teeth knocked out against that defense. They ain't going to be ready. They're not going to be ready. You know, if they don't, just what he's got on the board, if they don't score, we don't lose. And that's what Clemson is going to come in there with. Everyone, Georgia. We might as well just give it to Georgia. It's almost like everyone picking Alabama every year. You might as well give it to them. No, the game is played on the field. It's not played out there in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not played in Vegas. I mean, it's not played on paper.
Only one in Vegas is me trying to win my $1,500 when we win the national championship.
Okay.
My buddy bought me that $100 ticket.
Yeah. You got a $100 ticket, 1,500 to 1 odds. Okay. Well, Marty, I'll say this, and I've said it before.
Oh, Ron, I got one thing left.
Well,
all right?
but you'll never get Alabama this type of value to win the national title.
Oh, I know. After this, everyone's going to be crying, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, like right now, I can't. I'm taking all the heat right now, and I'm writing it down. I can't wait till the end of the year to get that heat back. But see, we don't have the restaurant anymore. We got to meet other places, and I gotta meet them other places and stuff now. But Ron, August is filled up, so we can't do it on the 24th because you got spring game practice, and you got this, and you're going to the lake, and then John Hannah's coming. We've got to do it September 21st. And nobody has to bring anything. This is how we do it, like the old butcher shop. We got to get someone to bring a couple grills. We go to Mark Smart. Everybody buys their own steak, so we give Mark Smart some business. We come back, we cook our own. Now, the guy at your restaurant, the chef, he brings the potatoes, the salad, and the bread pudding for dessert, and we got everything fixed up. And we don't have to have no cook. All we got to do is get someone to bring us a couple grills. We go down to Mark Smart, give them our business, buy either chops or steak.
I'm thinking we go down there for $10 and just do the Taco Tuesday with Tommy.
Yeah, we could do that. Everybody calls me cheap because like tonight. See, Ron, the reason I don't have to cook is I do 2 soup kitchens and on Sunday up to downtown Memphis, and then one up in in the boot heel. So those 2 days I'm covered. Tonight I'm covered because I go over to the hospital, and the hospital feeds us. So, I mean, that's the reason I'm covered. And when I was younger, I was covered because I worked at a camp for halfway house kids, and we got our food and that. And then one restaurant in Nashville would always bring us something on Sunday. So that's why I've never learned how to cook. But I can cook on a grill. I can put a steak on a grill or flip hamburgers. That's about all I can do. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I guess we could go down on Tuesday and do that $10 taco. If the restaurant's big enough, I want us to have you got enough people there that can orchestrate this. Jumbo, Dale, Moundville, Tommy and Ramos, and that they get it all together, and then you just take names on you and your guy that answers the phone, take the names and see how many people we can get.
Got it. Okay. Well, and somebody else is, as Nick Saban used to say, take the bull by the horns.
You got enough people in Tuscaloosa right there that call in that can take the bull by the horn.
Okay.
I can. I'm 6 hours away, Ryan. I just know these callers like Dale having that ticket. Then I met him at the hospital and stuff. And then I don't talk playing, so everyone remembers me. So that's the way it is. That's how I got so many friends, is the way I talk. That's that Cajun accent, even though I don't like LSU.
Gotcha. Marty, thank you so much, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, Ryan, you have a good, report on our chat how practice goes yesterday while you're riding down, taking your boat to the lake.
Okay. Thank you, man. Thank you, Marty. Marty, we appreciate that.
All right.
Let's go to Biscuit Bruce. Biscuit Bruce, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Oh, man. It's always great to be on Tide 100.9 with no cookout, Ryan Fowler.
Well, Biscuit, I want you. I mean, you're a retired man. You're a guy that just, sits around in the recliner watching reruns of Leave It to Beaver or Flipper, or The View, or whatever you watch.
Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith. Okay, Andy Griffith.
I don't watch my other stuff.
Okay. Well, anyway, but Biscuit, maybe you could be the official planner of this.
Well, I mean, everybody's calling in and telling you when you can have it and when you can't have it and what you're going to do here and what, how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So in lies the problem of where you're going to have it. So I know we kidded about Brian Harden's place, but, I don't figure that was up and up. I hadn't seen or talked to Brian.
I had lunch with Brian a couple of days ago. I forgot to ask. We were planning. We were planning this this pigskin kickoff. Matter of fact, we're going to feature Brian's brother coming up here in a couple of minutes to talk about it and give you some details. But Biscuit.
Well, you know who's cooking for that, don't you?
That would be Biscuit Bruce.
That'd be correct.
And your
you
buddies.
You ain't got to have a couple of people bring two grills. If you want to bring a grill somewhere, I got the grill that will cover all you'll probably want to cook. So that grill part's solved. But I mean, we'll cook. I don't know. I think we cooked 30-something butts last year for this thing. So anyway, I mean. So that was my point. I was listening the other day, and I got kind of excited because you said that, hey, I got a big announcement on an event fixing to take place, and I thought, well, we finally got a place, and Brian Harden agreed to let us come down there and use his place, and we're going to have a cookout, and then you announced Pigskin, which is a great event. I mean, I already knew.
Yeah, I mean,
all
John
that,
Hanna.
I thought, yeah, and so, but I keep looking on Instabook and FaceTime and Telegram and all them sites I got, and I ain't seeing a date for ours.
Okay, it is August. I can tell you. You talking about the?
I'm talking about ours. I know when that one is. I'm cooking.
Okay.
I know when that's taking place, right?
Well,
anyway, I know. We look, but here's the thing. The thing.
I'm thinking about August the 31st at about 6:15.
Okay.
Bryant Denny Stadium. is where I'm thinking that might be the location. We could do us a little tailgate out there.
Okay.
But now they've commercialized tailgating, so we'd have to buy us a spot somewhere unless somebody wants to,
Well, we can figure out somewhere to have it close enough to the stadium.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. But
I'm just. But we do need to. I mean, I'd love to get together. I mean, I'd love to do another
would too.
steak.
And we have in the past, but we've been talking about this kind of cookout for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and it is a.
Yeah. So a couple other things right quick. So I've been texting you a little bit and back and forth about what I've been doing up here at the house. I've been pressure washing and sealing decks and all these honeydews I'm trying to get done for football season. But we talk about Alabama football, and we're worried about this and worried about that. But one thing you don't have to worry about when you're pressure washing and you're sealing your deck and you're painting, the paint spot. The paint spot's where I went, and all I did was walk in there and say, "This is what I'm doing," and they started loading my truck with everything I need.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
I didn't have to ask a question. Philip and them, they're great. They even offered to Coach Bruce, you look up in age. Won't you just let me and Caleb come out there and we'll pressure wash that thing for you and fix your deck up? And I said, no, I can't let y'all do that. I wouldn't get no brownie points with my wife. I'll let y'all do it. So anything you need done, the paint spot's top notch. You ain't gonna get no better service. Got Anthony over in Northport and Philip and Caleb and all them down on 15th Street. Great place to go if you need any of that, people. It's the number one place to go, and I turned Ryan Fowler onto it, and he ain't never forgot it, and he always tells me he sure appreciates that air sprayer over rolling it with a roller. But the thing I'm worried about, so let me ask you this, in this scrimmage, will we go one-on-one, ones-on-one?
I would assume, yeah, that'd be a lot of time. Then
the thing I want to see is what I want to hear about is how our DBs do against what we're expecting Jalen Milroe to become and do. I want to see how they do against our number one. We're talking about 35 points a game, 40 points a game. I want to see if our defense can shut that down a little bit and how good our DBs react. Now, the second team, I think, on our schedule, other than Georgia, at one point I really thought was going to be Oklahoma. And I thought that really up until today when one of your guests said they are replacing every offensive line. They don't have a starter on the offensive line coming back. I don't know if they can score enough points to beat us, Ryan. Every offensive lineman? Not even one coming back. Now look, I know Oklahoma is Oklahoma, but they ain't had the depth in the last 4 or 5 years like they used to 10 years ago. So I think that's going to present a big problem for Oklahoma. Unfortunately, one of the teams I hate the most, I think is going to be our second biggest challenge, and I think it's going to be Tennessee. I think there'll be a bigger challenge.
And there's just something about Josh Heupel that jumps out to me.
Dude, he is an offensive phenomenon. So there again, herein lies my problem, not my problem, but my concern about our defensive backs. So I know we got a couple of solid ones, but so, dude, I mean, look what the year they beat us. Heupel, they threw 5 touchdown passes to the same freaking guy. Now look, I know who our defensive coordinator was, and I the next time I go out there and be defensive coordinator at the university will be my first day. But I promise you one thing: had I been the defensive coordinator against Tennessee, that guy, he might have caught 2 touchdowns. Somehow he might have got loose and caught 3, but I can promise you one thing: he wouldn't have caught 5 because he would have never got off the line of scrimmage. I'd have took one of my backup linebackers and my defensive back, and I'd have put him out there, and if he moved when the ball was centered, they'd have knocked him on his rear end. He would not have caught 5 touchdown passes. But that's the kind of scheme and the kind of mind that Josh Heupel has. I think he's the best coach Tennessee's had in a long time.
I do too. And I'm kind of. I mean, in part of me, this sounds kind of wrong for me to do this, but I'm kind of pulling for Brent Venables to kind of poop on himself out in Norman. Don't tell my buddy Chris Plank, and then they go hire Josh Heupel, get him away from Tennessee, because I think he's a heck of a football coach.
He is a heck of a football coach, and he's a fantastic offensive-minded football coach. And in today's world, that's worth a punch, because here we are talking about what kind of offensive-minded coach we now have. So we're promoting that even more than we ever have in the past. And I'm with you. I don't care who hires him. I don't want him to stay at Tennessee, because I don't
he's
like
impressive.
him up there.
I mean, he is.
I don't like him, but I don't like him up there because I got a little bit of respect and fear of him.
Yeah.
No. Because they got enough. Tennessee has a big enough name to where he can put that kind of. He did. I mean, against one of the best against the GOAT, against our defense. Now, once again, we're dealing with one of the. Well, I just ain't going to. We done beat that horse to death. But our defensive coordinator was awful. Awful. But, he still, against best defensive scheme, he just got that kind of mind. And, I'd rather, look, here's my, Oklahoma's coming in the Southeastern Conference. If you ask me right now today, all right, I'm going to tell you 2 teams you've got to lose to one of them. You got to lose to Oklahoma or you got to lose to Tennessee. It's a no-brainer. I'm taking the Oklahoma loss and going on down the road and beat Tennessee. I'll take that every day. You give me any 2 teams any year other than Auburn, and I'll take that. I'll take that other team. I'll take the other team beating it. I'd take Vanderbilt beating us over Tennessee. If you said Vanderbilt or Tennessee is going to beat you this year, which one you want, Vanderbilt? I'll take Vanderbilt.
Hey, Biscuit, I got to get to this break real quick. I got David Hartens coming up here in just a couple of minutes to talk about this big event. But
well, look, if you want me to head this thing up and you're serious, I know you're going on vacation next week, but if you want me to start looking at some things, I'll be glad to. So if that's what you want me to do, and I'll see what I can scratch out. And if anybody's got a place and Brian's willing to let us borrow his place, I don't really have a place big enough. And I guess it depends on how many people you're talking about coming. But anyway, other than that, it's always great to be on your program.
I'm thinking we go to a restaurant and make this the easiest way out.
Well, I mean, that's an option too. Dreamland has a big side place. Southern Ale House has
to me, Biscuit Bruce bringing potato salad and Ron bringing coleslaw and somebody else bringing Kool-Aid. That sounds that sounds good, but man.
No, you're going to have a solid menu. Will be one of the things, and that going to Mark's Mart and buying your own steak. Well, that's a great thing. So if you got 40 people and you throw 40 steaks on a grill, how you going to know this one belongs to so-and-so? And the first thing that's going to happen is Tommy's going to stop down there at that little taco place, and he's going to get him a steak. He's going to buy a steak from them. It costs $3.50. And he's going to bring that steak and sling it up in the middle of all them Mark steaks. And he goes, no, this is mine over here. This is mine over here. So you know how that works. So anyway.
Hey, Biscuit, I got to run, man.
I know. Let's be on the program. Hey, people, relax. Remember this. We are the University of Alabama. Roll Tide.
Speaking of Mark's Mark, you can find some great steaks there. The High Choice, which is the great steaks, the ribeyes, the sirloins, the fillets. You've got seafood options there. You've got the home of the chicken swirl, which is what they're famous for since 1978. Selma, Alabama, in over 5.5 years in downtown Northport under that Roll Tide Bridge. The cakes, the pies, the appetizers, you'll find it at Mark's Mark. Downtown Northport under that Roll Tide Bridge. And always cooking up some great items on Saturday. We'll continue. David Harden's coming up here in just a couple of minutes. T-Town, Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Now, this hour's West Alabama real-time news update from the Tuscaloosa Thread Newsroom.
Northport's Big Lot Discount Department Store is one of 315 underperforming locations that will be closed nationwide. The announcement is part of the company's filing with the Security and Exchange Commission. According to first quarter quarterly results, the retailer has seen sales decline by $114 million in the first quarter of 2024. Malachi Moore and Jalen Milroe have been named to the Walter Camp watch list. Follow these stories and more at TuscaloosaThread.com.
Get 24/7 local news coverage and sports updates when you download the free Tuscaloosa Thread app and sign up for twice daily email newsletters. Tide 100.9 Traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, TGIF to you in the afternoon. Not dealing with any severe problems or mishaps. We do have severe construction work. Now, that is definitely causing you some delays on McFarland East and westbound between Jack Warner Parkway and Lurleen Wallace. McWright's Ferry Road extends
$900. Visit us at 3537 Skyland Boulevard East or check us out online, bmwoftuscaloosa.com. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The sky partially sunny this afternoon. A small chance of a shower through the evening hours. The high today 92, tonight's low 71. For the weekend, the humidity values come down. A good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Daytime highs around.
Talking about this for a couple of days. We were able to make the announcement just a couple of days ago, the Pigskin Kickoff 2024. And right now to talk about that, David Harden, it is good to be able to feature you again. I hope all is well, my friend.
It is, Ryan. Good to talk to you as always.
Hey, absolutely. And, I know the community is going to be very excited August the 26th. What an all-star lineup. And I know we've got some new confirmations, even from the first day that we have been able to announce. Let's run through this and let's talk about some details and, most importantly, how we can get some of these tickets sold.
Okay. Well, it's our third annual men's Pigskin Kickoff. And, again, as you said, it's going to be Monday, August the 26th. We'll start at 5:15 to 6. We'll have a meal. And then after that, we're going to lead off at 6 o'clock with Coach Nate Oates.
Wow.
And then when Coach Oates is through, he is gracious. I want to brag on him. He is graciously coming to this. He's got a couple of things.
He came last year. He was supportive of it last year.
He came as a visitor, but he's coming this time to be a speaker. But we're going to put him on first, and he'll be on for 30 minutes. And I know everybody has got a lot of interest to hear about what's coming up this upcoming season in basketball. And as you know, I'm a big basketball fan, so I'm excited about having Coach Oates there. And then after that, I think we've got somebody that I think a lot of people would like to hear from, and that's Cedric Burns, who is the athletic relations coordinator out at the university. And people are very familiar in seeing Cedric hip to hip with Coach Saban. Wherever Coach Saban is, you see Cedric right beside him. And Cedric has been out at the university for 4 decades.
Wow.
So I'm sure he will be able to tell us some stories about Coach Bryant, who he served under, Coach Stallings, and Coach Saban, too. So we're real excited about that. And if you think about it, he has served, out of those, all the statues out there, he served under 3 of those statues, as he likes to say.
Yeah.
Coach Bryant, Coach Stallings, and Coach Saban. So he has seen a lot and been a big part of a lot of things. And I think is somebody that we just don't know about that has done a lot of things behind the scenes it's like Coach Saban says, everybody's job's important. It doesn't matter if you're the janitor or if you're a manager or whatever. And we don't know about all those unsung heroes. But
well, how many times have we been down to Brian's place and we sat there, and whether it's at our little annual hunt that we do or down at one of those crawfish bowls, and Cedric gets to telling some stories, and we're all sitting on the edge of our seat because some of the best stories, now he doesn't tell us everything, but he'll share some things that he's always intriguing because we know he's in the know. He's got a lot of great stories and lived through a lot of great coaches. I know him and Coach Stallings are still close, and they talk very, very frequently, but what a legend.
I remember one time being with Coach Jim McElwain, and I don't know what the discussion was, but here was what Coach McElwain's statement was. He says, "I want to read the book that Cedric writes." So Cedric, really knows a lot, and he won't say anything out of line. But there are stories that you can hear from him that you will never hear on the radio or on TV or on the internet. So that's a real coup for us also. And then we'll finish up the night with John Hannah. Man, what a resume. Now, if you're probably under 40, you don't know who John Hannah is. But he is probably the greatest, if not one of the greatest offensive linemen in the history of football, college and pro. He's a 9-time Pro Bowl team, 7-time first-team All-Pro. Now, listen to this, because this shows you over longevity what people think of him. He was on the NFL 75th anniversary team, all-time team. He was on the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. And he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And then some of us have seen that famous Sports Illustrated front cover where he's on front of that with his helmet on. And he was named in 1981 by Sports Illustrated as the best offensive lineman of all time. I mean, that's just unbelievable. I mean, that's just his football, pro football, history. At Alabama, he was a 2-time All-American in 71 and 72. He was 2-time All-SEC, 71 and 72. He won the Jacobs Blocking Trophy in 72. He's on the Alabama All-Century team. He is also in the College Football Hall of Fame. And a lot of people probably don't know this. The older people will remember. I was in high school when John played at Alabama. And back then we had a wrestling team. And he was on the wrestling team. And he was also on the track team, and he did shot put and discus throw. So just a lot of things that he can share with you about football with Coach Bryant. Of course, his dad and brothers played at Alabama too, so it's an Alabama. The Hannah name is Alabama Gold, in football lore. So I think John will have a lot to say about a lot of things. I think he'll have some good stories. I think he will also say something that will be inspirational to the men and help them be better men, better fathers, better employees, better friends. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton. I mean, that is because I don't ever hear John do a lot of speaking engagements. I'm sure he does. But I don't ever get a chance to listen to him from a local perspective because he's very busy with his occupation. He's a big cattle farmer up there raising Angus cattle up in a little place called Bluntsville, Alabama. It's a place that's between Bluntsville and Holly Pond. But so it's going to be fun. That's going to be good to get him in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I'm looking forward to it also. And I think, like I said, I think it'll be a rich evening with these three people. One of the stories I remember, and, as time goes on, the story might get changed a little bit, but just kind of let you know, John Hanna's story, and also his running mate Jim Croft, who was also on the offensive line at Alabama. You know, back in the when we were in high school and that time when he was in college, you know, the Vietnam War was really roaring. And, of course, Alabama being pretty conservative, you didn't have a lot of protest or anything. But back where the Ferguson Center is now, that's where the ROTC met, one of the places. They had a bunch of Kwanzaa huts out there. So the war's raging, and so there's a group of about 200 protesters that are students, and they go over there and set those Kwanzaa huts on fire. And I cannot remember if it was the same night or the next night. The Student Center used to be where Reese Pfeiffer is. Reese Pfeiffer, before it became Reese Pfeiffer, was the Student Center. And there used to be a big American flag pole right in front of that Student Center. So that same group of those protesters decided they were going to go over to the Student Center and take the American flag down and burn it. Well, Hanna and Croft got word of that, and they went over there and stood in front of that flagpole and said, "You're not taking this down." And you know what? They did.
I couldn't blame them. That would change. It would persuasion right there. Woo! Wow.
So I want to ask him if I got that story right, or does it need to be edited? But again, like I said, his dad Herb Hanna, and then you had his brothers Charlie and David played Alabama. In fact, Charlie ended up being on a Super Bowl team. I can't remember who it was now, but all those guys were big parts of Alabama football in their day.
Yeah, and I'm just reading the Coach Bryant quote. Not just Sports Illustrated labeled him, but Coach Bryant called him, he was the greatest lineman, not just offensive lineman, greatest lineman I ever coached. And, there's a lot of descriptions. I'm going to send you a few of those because, man, I love those quotes with Coach Bryant because I think there's just so much, value in them. But if you think about, John Hanna, College Football Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, and all the labels, and you will not find a nicer gentleman. And most importantly, David, I've known John. John and I are from the same area. His parents and my grandparents knew one another, in the cattle business because that's where we were at. And it's actually his dad was a big chicken farmer. He had a bunch of poultry, and so he went to Abbeville High School, and is right there in the same area. But really, if you look at John's faith, if you follow him on Facebook, he does a daily inspiration prayer. He's a man of God. He's a guy that is going to share a message of encouragement, but he'll challenge us like he does, people on the football field.
Well, I don't know John personally. I'm getting to know him.
Sure.
But I've been a friend on Facebook with him for a long time, and the main reason why I do that is he just puts so many things on there that are inspirational, that hits the mark, and it's something that I can always read and apply to my life. And so that's the kind of things that we'll get from him besides the football stories. I tell all our speakers, hey, we want you to tell a football story, but we want you also to tell, what God means in your life and how he has been threaded through your life and how that helps you. Because all these guys that we've had, you think of Reese Davis we had last year, and Terry Jones and the people before them, all these folks are famous. But all of them seem to have their feet on the ground. And that common thread is their belief in God. So we're looking forward to that. But we'll have the football stories and they'll add whatever they want to. I just say, hey, just tell the football stories and say whatever else you want to say about your relationship with God. I don't tell them what to say or what not to say. And I think go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I'm telling you, I'm as long as I've known John, I've never heard him speak. I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear John Hanna stand. And listen, Nate Oates, a great, as you said, what he has done for Alabama basketball, that within itself is worth the price of admission.
I'll tell you the thing I like about Coach Oates. He coaches basketball the way I think. I mean, everybody thinks of offense when they think of basketball, but you know this, and this goes back to just the basics. Wimp taught this. You know, shooting can come and go every night, and Coach Oates understands that. He wants his guys to shoot, and he's got it figured out why threes are more valuable than twos. But the team that's going to win the game every night is the team that plays defense the 40 minutes. It's going to be the team that rebounds the best. You can be shooting poorly one night, but if you rebound, you're going to have more opportunities, and you can still win the game, or you'll still be real close. So it's defense, rebounding, and who has the least amount of turnovers. That's what, and shooting's going to come and go in a game, in a season. But if you do those three things on a consistent basis, then you're going to win. And that's what Coach Oates teaches. And, again, like I said, a lot of us think shooting threes. But, no, you go out there and watch the practice, or you listen to him, and I think that hard hat mentality that he talks about covers those three things. Because, he's got a lot of good players. It's like Wimp Sanderson said. The coach's best friend is the bench. So if somebody's in there and they might be a great shooter, but they're not playing defense and they're not rebounding and they're not protecting that ball, he can plug somebody in and let them sit down and look at what's going on and think about it, because he's got so much talent. So, but again, I just want to say how gracious he's been about working his schedule out to come and do this. And he's a down-to-earth guy, too, and I think we can win with him a national championship at Alabama.
And you know what?
And I think that's his. I think he's not. I think that's the route that's his goal, and I think he, I think he thinks he can do it here, or he could have gone to any of these other big openings that were available at the end of the season.
Yeah,
because he's recognized across the country. He's got to be one of the top 3 or 4 coaches in the country, I think.
I don't think there's any doubt. So
he's a great recruiter, and he plays like everybody says. He plays that kind of offense, but he demands those 3 things that I keep mentioning over and over and over. So I'm excited about him coming. We will also have a silent auction. We've got about 60 items, Alabama items, that Coach Oates has signed a bunch of things. Coach Stallings has graciously signed some footballs. Hopefully we're going to have some things from Coach Saban. We've got some great athletic artwork. And all those things that we auction off that night will benefit Tuscaloosa Angels, and that's a nonprofit organization here in Tuscaloosa that helps with foster kids and foster families that keep those kids. And it's one of the best organizations about helping kids around. So that will benefit them. So we're looking forward to a big turnout. If you want to buy tickets, there's a couple of ways to do that. We have reserve tables, and those are $350. And the thing I like about the reserve table, we're going to have your name on the table. We're going to have somebody lead you to that table. And, when I go to an event like this, I want to go sit with my buddies. So buy a table and take your friends. And that way, you can all sit together and there's not a lot of confusion and that kind of thing going on in the auditorium. So those are $350 a table.
And how many seats do you come with at the table? 8
seats.
Okay.
8, the number 8. And then we do have individual tickets. They're non-reserve seats, and they're $25 a piece. Last year, we sold 48 reserve tables. So we're hoping to have another big crowd with this lineup that we've got. And the way you can do that, you can call University Church of Christ at 205-553-3001. between 8 a.m. and noon, Monday through Friday. Or you can call me, David Harden, and you can call me at 205-454-7088. And you can call me any time of the day.
And that is a great option. And Biscuit Bruce has already called in with a barbecue team. They're ready to go. And I know you've got Blue Plate cooking up some great things as well. And we certainly appreciate their support for a couple of years here now of giving us a lot of great opportunities, man.
We will have a good meal. And I'm going to tell you what now. I've already gotten a call from, last year we had people from Huntsville, Birmingham, and Montgomery, and even below Montgomery, down around Fort Deposit. So I've already gotten a call from some folks in Huntsville and also Montgomery. So we're about 2.5 weeks out. This is a great time. That weekend will be the first football game. So I just think it's just a great time to have it and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. And I'll say this: if you want a ticket, you better grab it, because this one's going to sell out a lot faster. Because just watch it. Just watch it. I mean, this is when you get Nate Oates, John Hanna, Cedric Burns, and a decent good meal in a great environment, and as you said, the anticipation of football season, it's going to be a ton of fun. Hey, David, I'm up against this break, man. I appreciate you, and hey, I'll get you back on, and we'll talk about the LPGA qualifier, because I know you're on that board as well, and that's coming up. What is it? September, October? What is it?
No, it's September the 12th to the 15th.
Ooh,
That's
wow.
the weekend. Okay. The weekend when Alabama's playing in Wisconsin.
Okay.
But again, let me get these numbers one more time.
Okay.
University Church, 205-553-3001, or you can call me, David Harden, 205-454-7088. Hey, Ryan, thanks as always for your help.
Hey, thank you. David Harden helping us out there. It is the Pigskin Kickoff. We'll roll on. We'll continue with more of the game. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports. The game is powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com. David DeSantis, the largest selection of new Toyotas in over 3 years, can be found on Skyline Boulevard, 3325 Skyline Boulevard. Also a nice inventory of pre-owned inventory. You can find the new Tundra, the 2024, the Tacoma 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. How about a new 4Runner, Highlander, RAV4, Camry, Corolla? For those outside of Tuscaloosa, save.
Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A little trouble we found here on Lurleen Wallace on the southbound lanes to University Boulevard. Watch for the accident. It's got a lane down. Traffic is thick back to just shy of 5th Street. And then we've also got our normal delays on Lurleen Wallace. This one on the northbound.
30 miles. And if they don't have what you need, they'll get it. Cypress Supply, 2036 62nd Avenue, Tuscaloosa. Cypress-supply.com.
For over 5 years in our community in downtown Northport under that Roll Tide Bridge, Mark's Mark, the home of the chicken swirl. You'll find that since 1978 in Selma, Alabama, for over 5 years in downtown Northport. If you want to dominate the grill today or any day, find Mark's Mark. A great stop by on your way home. If you're preparing for dinner, they've got a lot of those gourmet dishes that you can find, the great casseroles, the dips, the appetizers, the great steaks, the pork chops, the burgers, and all the supplies you need.
Visit us at 3537 Skyland Boulevard East or check us out online, bmwoftuscaloosa.com. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Dos Amigos, Highway 69 in the new Publix Shopping Center. 11 a.m. opening, 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday closing at 9, Sunday through Thursday. Some great Mexican cuisine, the great fajitas, the great desserts, the great lunch specials. You'll find it at Dos Amigos in the Publix Shopping Center on Highway 69. Takeout orders always an option at 205-737-7344, 205-737-7344. Dos Amigos.
The longest running sports show in Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
And we got pushed up against this top of the hour break. We'll reset the 5 o'clock hour. Tony, get ready. We're coming to you. Bama Nick, get ready. We're coming to you. Pat in Tuscaloosa. J-Rob, we're coming to you right here in the 5 o'clock hour. Tomorrow, big scrimmage. We'll talk about it next. T-Town, Tide, 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
The Dallas Cowboys say quarterback Dak Prescott is not practicing today for precautionary reasons due to ankle soreness. NFL media reports the New England Patriots are releasing receiver Juju Smith-Schuster. At the Olympics, American Olivia Reeves just won the gold medal in women's weightlifting. A short time ago, American Rye Benjamin won the gold medal in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Earlier today, the United States won the gold medal in the women's 4x100-meter relay. The United States was the favorite in the men's 4x100 relay, but was disqualified because of a botched baton exchange that was deemed illegal in Canada, wound up winning the gold medal. The U.S. women's basketball team won its
changes within just a couple of days.
Text support to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
DanielMooreArt.com. Daniel Moore Art celebrates those special moments of Alabama football history like 4th and 31, Jalen Milroe connected with Isaiah Bond, or the legacy continues with all the great memories of Alabama Crimson Tide football. You can celebrate Coach Saban with a Nick Saban print, the limited edition canvas. You could also find many of the great mini prints. Celebrate that special Alabama fan in your life. DanielMooreArt.com. The game, that's the code word for a significant discount. And when you check out, tell them that you heard about it right here on the game. DanielMooreArt.com.
Rolling down a backwoods Tennessee byway, one arm on the wheel, holding my lover with the other, a sweet, soft southern thrill. Worked hard all week, got a little jingle on a Tennessee Saturday night. Couldn't feel better, I'm together with my Dixieland delight. Spend my dollar, park in a holler, neath the mountain.
We're having a great day, man. I cannot wait. Coming up as we get ready for scrimmage number 1 on the campus of the University of Alabama. And listen to David Harden a couple of minutes ago. That's a lot of fun. I want a lot of people to go out and support that. And Tuscaloosa Angels does so much great work when we talk about the foster kids in our community. And, hey, I appreciate David Harden for inviting me. And I may have to ask this next guy to help me out a little bit. 18 national titles, 30 SEC titles, 147 first-team All-Americans, 77 postseason appearances, 45 postseason victories, 4 Heisman winners, the NCAA all-time scoring leader, and the greatest football coaches to ever walk the sidelines. We are doing a little free-for-all Friday. It is presented by Brian Harden Construction. Our show is always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. T-Town, Tony in Tuscaloosa. Hope all is well.
Namaste. Stand, Ryan.
I'm standing.
To see what could be. Unburdened.
What has been.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Yes. Oh, I got to sit back down, so it's going to have. Can you cut my mic off for like 2 seconds? Now I'm back down because I didn't want to hear like the rattling. But Tony, I'm going to need your help, man.
What?
How can I be of help, brother?
Okay. I'm going to be up on this stage, and I got to interview Nate Oates for 30 minutes, okay? Yours truly is going to be up there asking him questions. Can you make me a little index card with...
Sure.
Okay, you can help. Okay, sure. Good. Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, you don't need...
Well, I mean, I could get through a 12... By? Okay, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm surprised by?
What is it?
That you're not one of the ones speaking.
Well, I'm part of it. But I'm just...
I mean, just is Nate Oates, John Hanna, Fowler.
Okay.
Fowler.
I mean, my name is
how
on
about how about those three? I mean, it was like, I'm just saying, I went to the thing with you and Martin and Rod. Y'all need to call him Rodney. Rod. Neor. And that was awesome. You're a headliner right with them. You should be a headliner. I'm just saying.
Okay. And I'm gonna.
But man, that's awesome.
I'm gonna see if I can invite.
I'm in on that. I'm gonna say right now, I'm in on going.
Okay.
I'm in.
Will you wear like disguise? I mean, are you gonna be like?
Well, no one knows who I am. I'm not gonna I'll wear a phony name tag if y'all have name tags, whatever on the thing. But
I got a Biden.
I'm incognito. I'm total anonymity.
I have a Biden costume that I would like for you to wear.
Yeah.
Would you wear it?
No.
Okay.
But you know who could?
Who?
Tammy can.
Oh yes.
You forgot about that, didn't you?
I did. You said it. It's but listen. I always love giving back to the community, and to see John Hanna.
You're a giver.
We love to be able to. I mean, John was so excited when I called him, and he's like, "Yes, man, yes. I don't think I've ever been invited back to Tuscaloosa to do a speaking engagement." Like, really? So John's an awesome guy.
If you follow him on Facebook,
oh my Lord,
you know he has a great personality.
Yes, he does.
Right?
Yes, he does.
He has a great personality.
He can get into politics just like you can.
Oh, sure he can, man. I'm telling you, I can't wait to hear what he has to say. And
hey, Tony.
Yeah.
He's on the right team.
Hell yeah, he is.
I mean,
Is there anyone ever question that?
Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I mean, I mean, when I was hearing David tell that story about the flagpole, I'm like, man, we could use him in 2024.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
that's right.
You're not taking this flag down.
Hey.
You're not taking this flag down. You're not.
I'm fighting for the flag. Hey, I'm fighting for TJ every day.
No, I think we're talking about a different flag. Hey, by the way, I saw TJ Thomas, man. He's gonna be able to get back engaged with our meeting of the minds. So we got to start this thing up.
That's right. I'm ready. I am back. By the way, I'm officially back now.
Okay.
I'm back from the Himalayas. I'm back. I was calling long distance last time.
Your yin and your yang is together. You got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Namaste.
You know,
well,
I'm going to send you a photo.
Football?
Yeah, I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you a photo, okay? Because my wife has a shirt that says "Namaste." Yeah. I kid you not.
There you go. I know.
And I found it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But it's like it's a mowing grass shirt. Hey,
it says all about positive vibes.
Okay, I mean you love this, okay? And Namaste with my dog is what it says a day.
There you go.
And
that's right.
Yeah. I took a photo. I was like, I gotta send this to Tony, and I haven't done that. But let's talk some football. Let's talk some football. Scrimmage number one. I mean, you used to be able to go to these, but you're
let me ask you something. And for those of you Red Elephant Club members that are listening, or you can call in, or you can text me.
I'm not going to say what you're, because I know you're going to try to put me in the spot, okay? Let me just say this. Somebody screwed up, okay?
No, hold on. I just want to hear something.
I'm not answering any more questions. I'm just telling you somebody screwed up.
What's your ex thing? What's your Ryan Fowler and ex
at
Fowler?
Ryan C. Fowler. Yeah.
Okay. And then mine is, I don't know, but go to Facebook on T-Town Tony. All the T's are capitalized. And get on there. And this is my question for you. You know, on this right here is, first, how does it make you feel that you can no longer go to this scrimmage? And B, how does it make you feel that they announced it after you paid your dues?
You know, now see, I don't know if is that true?
But
it is? Okay, because you know more about it. Because
look, if I'm wrong, I apologize. And I'm not, look, hold on. Let me say something real quick.
Okay.
I'm pro Red Elephant Club. I'm not blaming them at all on this, and I can't say I'm. This is a fundraising thing, right?
Okay.
So you don't want to put out information to hurt the fundraising.
Sure.
So, I mean, know that going in. This is the whole thing. This is a fundraising thing. So let's don't attack the Red Elephant Club. I just hate the fact that it played out the way it did. How about that? Maybe we don't need a poll. And just like I'm not happy, I just hate that it happened to such a good group. How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah. Well,
how about that? I hate that it's just rotten for them and for the people that run that and all that. And I don't want to stay on that. I'm just saying I hate how it went down. I think it looks bad. And I also, while talking about things that look bad, I think for the first time yet, I believe, and I'm stealing this, and I can't believe I'm doing this from Bubba from earlier in the day.
Okay.
And I think he's right. I don't like the idea. I think it looks a little ignorant on his part, like he doesn't know or whatever. Moving Hey Coach to Wednesday on church night.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I just
maybe that's why he's going to end it at 7:30.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's going to be like 6 to 7:30. What time is midweek services? 7?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, well.
Different times. I'm just saying I hate that, and I hate that they're saying they're going to practice on Sundays. It's not bad. I'm not. That's not the only thing I can come up with that he may have possibly done. That's it. I'll take that. If that's the only thing in this off season that he might have been wrong, check. Okay, it's okay. We can move on.
Okay. Well, and
but you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to feel a little bit about that too. I mean, you got to feel a little. I wish it wasn't on Wednesday.
Well,
wish they weren't practicing on Sunday.
And when I heard it first at Wednesday, I was like, okay. And I'll tell you what happens on Thursday, and it's the reason why it's not on Thursday. I guess they could have probably did it on Tuesday, or maybe they could have done it on Monday or whatever. But Thursday is a big day for them. What they do is they have a family event for all of the coaches. And they bring all the wives and kids in. And it's one of the reasons why you've seen these coaches, the way that he treats his assistant coaches. Coach Saban, you might want to learn a few things there. But
he's retired.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, just in case he gets back in, I mean,
he's done.
Okay.
He's retired.
Okay. So they're doing a thing where they come in and they do like, they'll have like one night they'll have a Magic Man and Balloon Guy or, whatever kids, so they do a family night. And so that's Thursday for them. And I think they're, it's more of a staff event. So I think that's one of the things. You know how these coaches are, especially with a baseball player that's a former coach, they're very superstitious, right? I mean, and I'm not saying he is,
sure.
I'm not saying he's not, but
sure.
They have a pattern. We do this on Monday. We do this
regiment.
Yeah. And so I think, and Saban did that. So
sure.
Yeah. But
we're just blessed. I think I told you before that when Dabo was winning and he was coming across as being young and the fun coach, that I thought he would be a good choice to replace Saban just because he's going from, military to a little more freedom. I think then Dabo changed. I think we ended up getting that guy, but a better coach.
I do as well. And just like I told you, and I've said this many times, I've said it on the air, but I said it this morning in Norman, Oklahoma. I said, if you'd have told me on January the 10th that we'd be talking about a deep run for Alabama in 2024, because, see, the world reacted. They went, oh, man, look at Alabama. They come sliding down. And then all of a sudden, what do you say? Here we are.
I mean, it's great. It's great to be Ric Flair, right?
It is, yeah.
I mean, it's great to be the champ. It's great to be the hated one. We are. Hey, just like the DB said, that you had the video that I saw of it or whatever. The A means something.
Oh yeah. That was
from USC. USC, Damani Jackson.
Oh yeah, it was Damani Jackson. It was, and
Damani Jackson said, "Hey man, the A means something."
and I think it was Clinton Dix that called him and said, I mean, this is before he ever even got the news about Kalen DeBoer, right? I mean, Greg Burns said, we need so many hours, give me 48 hours or give me 72, and they did it in 48 or whatever it was. But Clinton Dix and Josh Chapman and Denzel Duvall kind of was holding a lot of this together. And he shared the story about Clinton Dix calling him. And he said, man, I'm not going anywhere. Because he believed in Alabama. He believed that Alabama was going to land an elite football coach. So, and
hey, there'll be no doubters from here on out.
Yeah. A lot of crawfishing going on.
That's right. Hey, everybody enjoy your week. I can't take up any more time. I feel bad every time.
Yeah, Bama Nick's
I really do.
Yeah, Bama Nick's
I got my namaste going. I got my positive energy. I got my vibrations up. So namaste. Remember, what does namaste mean, Ryan, when I say it to you? It means a lot of things to a lot of people. But what does namaste mean when I say it to you and all the listeners?
Harmony.
Here? Well, no. It does, but it doesn't. It does. I'm sending it in positive energy to you.
Oh, I just got it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, so what it really means
Have you ever been in yoga class? Hey, whoa.
Tide, roll. And yes, I've been to yoga class. And if you want to hear a funny story, I'll tell you one. But if not, we'll move on to
and I got to hit the pharmacy at Midtown spot. We don't do these.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay. So I went to a yoga class. My wife drugged me into this thing, and, here I am, and this cat opens up.
You went to yoga class.
Yes, I did. Okay.
How'd you looking? I know you went out and bought some Lululemon yoga pants.
I'm sitting there, and this old guy goes, he goes, all right, so you send out some good thoughts. He's sitting there. It's this yoga teacher's like, all right, you grab those good thoughts. Can you grab them? Yeah.
That's right. Grab them.
Throw them out to somebody that you don't like.
Oh.
And then you throw them out to somebody that you do like. And I'm going, are you kidding me? I mean, whoa. What is this? I mean, this is like a freak show. It was.
Hey, Fowler, what do you think? What kind of thoughts do you think the person, the poor lady, because I'm sure it was a lady, that was behind you, that was having to look at your yoga plumber's crack while you were sitting there grabbing your thoughts?
Well, this has been this has been 20 years ago that I went to yoga, but I remember eating a bean burrito the night before.
And everyone lets them go in yoga, or you're not doing it wrong.
Oh, okay.
So I know that poor lady, not only was she getting the Fowler plumber crack, she was also getting the Taco Bell Tommy for Tuesday, 4 burritos for $1 and water. Sniff bomb coming her way.
The pharmacy at Midtown.
Hey, they can help you with that.
Yes, they
DJ can help you with that.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Not the Fowler plumber crack part.
The
but
pharmacy
the
at
other part.
Midtown, 205-752-0627, 205-752-0627.
Oh.
The pharmacy at Midtown. Hey, we got to go to Bama Nick, man. He's up next.
Tell Bama Nick I said, hey, namaste.
Namaste. See you.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. The pharmacy at Midtown will take Bama Nick in 2 minutes. D-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTVC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. It is bumper to bumper on Lurleen Wallace, southbound lanes onto University Boulevard. You do have an accident. Traffic is very heavy. Now, this is going to back you up pretty solid back toward McFarland Boulevard, where you've also got some pretty heavy traffic. Well, actually, this is going to back you up to 5th Street. And then moving on, McFarland on the east and westbound hookup to Lurleen Wallace. A little slow, but it's steady. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
The pharmacy at Midtown with TJ Thomas, 205-752-0627. PharmacyMidtown.com. Don't forget about the retail side of the pharmacy at Midtown. It's an independent-owned pharmacy specializing in walk-in prescriptions, medicine on time packaging.
DEAL or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511 today. All dogs are unique. Your dog results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. Call Paul at 205-331-6823. Custom curbing for your home or business. Do away with those plastic individual stone borders. Go for that more permanent decorative concrete border. No more grass growing between those individual stones. Cleaner to edge to maintain. They're willing to travel, not just here in Tuscaloosa, but also in our neighboring states as well over in Mississippi. Many colors and choices. They'll customize for that individual taste and house. Give them a call at 205-331-6823. You could also go to their Facebook account. Find their page. You can see exactly what the videos. They came out, did a free quote. Paul gave me an evaluation. Give them a call, 205-331-6823. Free quotes and evaluation. It is Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. Tuscaloosa Custom Curbing. Call Paul at 205-331-6823.
The Game with Ryan
Nearly 70 days, losing weight without speed, eating sunflower seeds.
22 days away, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union. I do want to remind you about Southern Ale House, 1530 McFarland Boulevard, 1530 McFarland Boulevard. Eat Southern, be Southern. Brett Garner always cooking up some great things, whether it's the great steaks, whether it's great pork chops, the seafood entrees, the biscuit sandwiches, the great chicken fingers that I love, the great Bama chicken. You can find that. The fish and taters, those are a great option. The great vittles. And do not leave there without having some of that great upside down lemon bread pudding. Ooh, it is outstanding. Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, talk to me. Bama Nick, how are you, man?
Man, that calmed me down there because
Okay.
I just got up there talking to you off the air. But whatever. Let me tell you something, fella.
I don't think that
It
was
calmed
me.
me down.
I never left my studio during that break. That was
Yeah.
Wyatt, who was that Bama Nick was talking to?
He sat there and rambled to me for 3 minutes.
It was Wyatt. It was not Ryan. I promise you.
Come on, Wyatt. That was when I called an hour and 45 minutes ago and talked to you.
Hold on a minute.
Tell the truth, Wyatt. Tell the truth.
Wyatt, tell the truth. It was
My brother in Christ, that was me that you talked to 2 minutes ago.
It was Wyatt. It was not me. It was not me.
Okay, well, maybe I was done poured 2 minutes.
How many have you poured, Bama Nick?
Well, let's see. I started out.
Let's start. Okay, before you made the phone call, how many were you in?
Well, 2 PBRs,
okay.
A 40 ounce White, and then while I was on hold, I sent you a text. Said, "Fella, I got to make a beer run, so don't take me." Yeah, of course you don't ever read my texts, I don't think anymore.
Where did you send that to?
To your personal phone, fella. I got all your information.
You did not send that to me.
You want me to give your number out on air? I don't.
No,
think
sir.
You do.
No, sir. But
There
you
go.
did.
All
You
right,
did
then.
not. Oh my Lord! Yeah, and I guess I just screwed up. See, Brett Garner says it ain't lemon upside down. It ain't lemon upside down cake. It's pineapple upside down cake. I don't even know what I mean, Bama Nick.
Fowler, tell your listeners that me and the number one caller of your show, Bama Nick, we are tight.
Oh, we're buddies.
Talk off there.
But
we talk on there.
I don't have a message. The last message I have from you, it says, "Okay, Fowler, I just heard these callers you have on the line. Good luck with them energizing your show today."
There you go. That was one of them. Then I sent you another one.
And then you said,
"Let me make
"Okay,
a beer
Fowler."
run."
No, I never got that. You sent that to somebody else. You probably sent that to your preacher or something.
No, I sent it the same one you just read. Of course, I got a thing back that it wasn't able to send that to you.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah, because I didn't
I
get
guess
that.
you cut me off after that one. I guess you wasn't taking no more messages. Fowler, look, you tell your callers
Okay.
that Bama Nick is the number one caller to this show. Woo! And they don't have to love me. They don't have to like me. But the damn show got to respect me, Fowler. And and another thing, I've been listening to this show today, Fowler, and I was telling Wyatt when I flattered him, like you said, for about 3 minutes. And I said, "Look here, Wyatt, you want me to call the show and save your show today because your show is gone to crap."
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Okay, well, give me Bama Nick.
What's his name? That Camel Toe Harris is Tampon Tam.
Yeah. That's who I'm voting for.
Yeah. And your show's got and that reminds me of another thing. When you was had old Brett Beard on there today.
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask him tough questions, Fowler? He's saying Georgia's better than Alabama, which is a lie. Ask him why he thinks that. You didn't come out back at him and say, "Why do you think that, Beard?"
Well, I'm looking here at Bama Nick's top 25, and I see Georgia number 1, Bama 2. Why is that?
That ain't my top 25. That's fake news.
Well, it says it's Bama. It says it's from Bama Nick.
Where did you get that report?
Bama Nick. You can't.
I knew you was going to do it. You was going to do that.
We only have one dump button, and that we got that dump. Hopefully, praise Jesus.
Okay, all right. Look, I don't put nothing on Facebook about my top. Whatever.
Well, you used to write up little nice things about your call. Now you don't do that.
I don't get on Facebook and write. I get on Facebook and give you. I'll post great call today to Ryan Fowler at the game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But the way they follow, I ain't getting no respect.
Well, first off, the idiot that made you wait an hour and 44 minutes, the number one caller,
was Wyatt.
Yeah, it was Wyatt. Wyatt did it.
There you go. And I had to listen to Tony.
Well, every time I would try to take you, Wyatt said, "Just let him hold."
Yeah, you go. Why is it? We'll just keep him on hold.
That's what he said.
I know what he's doing.
He kept saying that. He just said, every time I'd be like, "Let's take Bama Nick right here." He goes, "No, I'll just let him hold for a couple of minutes."
A couple minutes, Ryan Fowler, a couple minutes holding hold to you is like 17 minutes. Okay. Time you go through all your
Well, let me ask you this. How can we make it up for you?
Well, when Bama Nick, and I done told Wyatt, I'm telling you, and I've told all, whenever you see my number pop up on the screen, the caller screen, when I call in, boom.
Yeah.
Take Bama Nick, get rid of them boring-ass callers you got. And I've been listening to all day, and there's a bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah, well, I know it. Me and you talk about it all.
We're going to have to coach them. We're going to have to coach them up. Well,
I'm trying to coach them up.
I mean,
I've been trying to tell them, come, instead of calling your show and come with some boring ass.
You got to be careful, man. You got to be careful. Please don't cuss. Please.
Well, I ain't going to you're not getting fired, and the FCC ain't going to come see you.
Yeah, they took off at 4:00, but I just want to make sure because we're walking across this real thin ice between me adding to the Joe Biden unemployment line and me keeping my job. So,
Tyler, why do you think I keep your show on air as the greatest caller to your show?
Because you love me?
Because I don't go by the rules.
Oh, okay.
I know what rules I can go by when I'm talking on the air.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get you fired. I'm not going to get the FCC involved, and I'm not gonna get. Of course, you own your own show anyway, so I ain't gonna get unless your owner of that building wants to fire you. Then you ain't got to worry about it. And that reminds me, when are you up for a new contract extension?
Soon.
There you go. We're telling you want about $2 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'll see if listen. We're struggling here to clean the parking lot. So I don't know, Bama Nick. I don't know if you've noticed, but Joe's economy is not the best of worlds.
Oh, I know it, Paul. I know it.
We're such a bad shape around here. You have to bring your own toilet paper when you.
Well, I know it down here in Southwest Georgia. Instead of, I used to be able to go buy a damn 12-pack of beer, now I got to buy a 6-pack.
It doesn't seem like that's a real big problem.
It is a problem, Paula.
Well, we gotta go, Bama Nick. I know you're the number one caller, but
I know it. I don't care, Paula. Let me tell you something about Texas Tony. Tony, bring something else but what you had today, because your call today sucked.
Oh, Tony's call sucked too?
Better.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Bring it, Tony,
Bring it.
you suck.
All right. Well, we got to
Your
go,
call
Bama Nick.
sucked.
We got to go, so.
I do too, Paula. I got to pour me another beer.
Okay, good. Be good now. And don't drink and drive, okay?
Oh, I'm sitting on my patio, fella. You know that. I'll call
are you in? Are
now,
you?
I'm going to call you after the show. Of course, you won't answer, but
Well, I
got your personal number.
Yeah. Well, no, you do. I mean, I don't hide that. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Right, fella.
Thank you, Bama Nick. Thank you. Number one caller right there. There he goes. There he goes. We'll continue on a Free For All Friday, sponsored by Brian Harden Construction. Bubba, Pat, J-Rob next. T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTVC. You're
and high quality ingredients. We want to say, that sounds great. We've been doing that since 1974. Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa.
Jump in on a Free For All Friday. What's on your mind? We actually have one line available, two lines available, 205-342-9904. Let's go to Pat. Pat, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Ryan, let's actually talk football. Good Lord, man, what calls?
Namaste.
Well, I want to talk. What do you think about practice tomorrow? I realize it's just practice, but look, hey, I was at rehab this morning.
Okay.
And
what are you rehabbing for? Oh, the knee injury.
I've got a busted, a ruptured a tendon in my foot, and I went over to Dr. Waldrop over at Andrews Sports Medicine, and he put me back together. The doctor here in Tuscaloosa said, Pat, I'm scared of it. They said, I can't fix you. And it was a really, really good doctor here in Tuscaloosa, one that's been part of the Alabama program since 1995 or so. And he said, I can't fix you. he said, I'm scared of getting into the Achilles tendon. It's too close. And he said, I'm going to recommend that you go over and see Dr. Walter. And I went over there, and Dr. Walter looked at it. He said, Patty, he said, I've got the technology to put you back together. And I said, well, the doctor that sent me over here said you was a cat's meow, and he strutted going out the door. Man, when you got a doctor that has swagger, hey, that's what you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you not agree?
No, I mean, you said Dr. Waldrop?
Yeah, Waldrop.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, I see him on the sidelines. I see him on the sidelines often.
He does everything from the knees down in Tuscaloosa for Alabama, Auburn, and UAB. Like I said, he's the best of the best that Alabama has to offer. And probably, I'd say, from the way my foot feels and what he had to do, he's the best in probably the best in this part of the country for sure.
Okay.
But because I'm 4 weeks out now and I'm down to no crutches started today, just a walking boot, and man, I'm just pleased as punch. But what I called about was, who do you think? Because we talked about it at UOC this morning, and who is going to be the breakout wide receiver tomorrow? They all was consensus as to who it was going to be, and it's not one that's just come out of the portal.
I think it's going to be Ryan Williams.
Absolutely, Ryan Williams, hands down. And everybody talks bad about Pat. What my prediction was.
Yeah, I know.
But y'all, but in the end of the day,
hey, we're going to be eating that crow. Okay, I
might
promise
be.
you.
Look, I might serve y'all up. Hey, I might bring my grills.
And you were one of those guys who did tell us that Ryan Williams is going to be day one, and I'm going, come on. I mean, listen, 7-8 days into practice. He's grabbed a lot of attention. Now let's see if he can.
I've got some insider stuff there. Hey, and they told me he was better than advertised, and I understand that's Decon 101, buddy, but better than advertised. Ryan Fowler. Hey, and he's got your same name. I mean, that's what's incredible. Ryan and Ryan. Wow. Hopefully he'll give you a good interview one day.
Okay. No, I mean, I already interviewed him.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I was told that a very special someone listened to that interview, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is it's really exciting, and I feel like
Did I tell you about that guy? Did I tell you about that, Wyatt? I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you.
So we may want to go to break and make this one a little longer so I can hear that story.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm hope. If you need to go to break, I can hold a minute.
No. You just let it rip. No, Pat, just continue.
Okay.
Yeah,
like I said, what I wanted to talk about is, like I said, is this practice. Mm-hmm. I'm real excited to see LT Overton.
Yeah, me too.
Tomorrow.
Me too. I like 22. 22 days by the way, LT Overton.
Yeah, and I'm real excited about the rest of the entire defensive front. Well, you got front six, I guess it is, not a front seven. Is that not correct? You got four. We got two linebackers and 4 down linemen. Is that not right? So it's six defensive front. Instead of a front seven, we got a front six.
Okay.
Will you not go with that?
No. I don't think so. All right, 4 down linemen's 4 down linemen. I mean, it's a
4 down linemen, but only 2 linebackers.
I know, but I mean, you can't have but 11. You can't have but 11 on the field.
And you got 5 defensive backs. Whereas with Alabama,
4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11.
But with Nick, you had 3 down line or three linemen and 4 linebackers. Right. That was a front seven.
So 3-4 is 7, and then you could go 4 defensive linemen. But if you went to a nickel, then you had to give up one of those linebackers, right?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, unless Pete Golding was coaching, and then we just slid our inside linebacker to tackle.
Yeah. Well,
like you said, I'm
Did we really
extremely.
do that? Yeah, we did. Will Anderson played inside against a guard. Go watch the plays. I didn't call them. They did.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm super, super excited to see how these defensive backs can make out, because if they can hold from what I understand, this offense is going to be extremely explosive. And if our defense can, iron sharpens iron, as they say, and if our defense can hang in there and keep, in this practice, if we can keep the offense from scoring more than 6 touchdowns, that would be I'd have to buy more stock. Would you not?
Yeah. I mean, Pat, I want to get through this one scrimmage before I overreact. I've tried not to overreact all day, and here you're trying. I mean, all week I've been on the fence, because I think, this is, I mean, it's fun. But let me get through this one scrimmage, and Monday I'm going to come out with what I think about this team. Because I almost did it this past Monday, but I was cautiously going, hold on. So, all right.
One scrimmage can tell us a little bit, but it can't tell us a whole lot.
Yeah, but 8 practices plus 1 scrimmage is all I need to know.
Yeah, but this is unreal, though, what this team's potential is. Do you realize how many 5-stars that are on Alabama's team that were 5-stars coming out of high school?
Yep.
LT Overton was a 5-star. Yes, sir. And was actually extremely highly rated. And, we've got other players that, this kid that we got playing, now, the other position I'm anxious to see about, and see if you agree with me, is what does the backup center do? Because you realize there's not much tape. He was a very good, where he came out of high school, he was the number 1 player in that state at offensive tackle, not center. He's 6'5". He's got the measurables that we want. But my question is, how much tape do we have on him as a center?
Okay.
Do you not?
I gotta get to this break real quick. So we're out of we're at the end right here. So
I got you. Hey, well, look, you get a chance to watch him at and are they going to scrimmage Sunday? What day is fan day?
That's fan day. Sunday's fan day. Sunday's fan day.
Okay, Sunday's fan day and no scrimmage.
I don't guess it'll be a scrimmage. I don't think they're going to scrimmage back-to-back days, but they will practice in Bryant-Denny Stadium back-to-back days. But I don't think both of them's a scrimmage. So
okay,
we'll find out.
It is going to be
tomorrow's. Okay, so Pat, let me just, because you may confused too. Scrimmage tomorrow is not open to the public. Not open to the public.
Correct.
Okay. Fan day on Sunday is open to the public. But to answer your question, if it's going to be a scrimmage, I just don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I haven't asked either. Because
it was a scrimmage under Coach Saban. I realize they took different things.
No, it was not. No, it was not. No, it was.
What they did, they were in shells. But what they in shells?
No, because it was like the second, third day of practice. It couldn't be in shells. Don't you remember? It was earlier in August. It's never been this late. I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're right there.
Yeah, because it was like the second, third day of practice. A lot of times it would not even just be like helmet and shorts. So,
okay.
Hey, man, I got to run, Pat.
Have a blessed day. Thank you, Ryan, for taking my call. Have a good weekend.
Right back to you. Let's continue with more of the game. Bubba, get ready. We're coming to you. T-Town Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. It looks like the accident on the southbound lanes of Lurleen Wallace. Looks like they're pretty much getting that out of the way, but your residual backup still have yet to get out of the way. It's still pretty heavy back to 5th Street.
For free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I got turned around in some little town I'd never been to before.
I do remind you About the Standard, the home of the 20-inch pizza pie, pepperoni, meat lovers, cheese. Design your own. It is thestandardbama.com, thestandardbama.com. And, I saw that, hey, looks like they got pizza there. Hey, when you look at they have a pizza named after Ryan Williams. You know what it's called? Do not drop it. One-handed catch. No, I'm being funny, but they do actually. Ryan Williams, kind of a big fan of the Standard in Tuscaloosa. Got that message. Said that, hey, he's a guy that likes to frequently stop there from time to time. So good 20-inch pizza pie, pepperoni, meat lovers, cheese. Design your own. TheStandardBama.com. Full-service restaurant or dine-in, carry-out. Also available by DoorDash. Is it the Standard on University Boulevard? Let's continue. Let's go to Bubba. Bubba, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game.
Hey, do you know every time you do come to me, before you come to me, you do a food commercial? Is that a hint or something?
I do. Yes.
You know I love food.
Well, I mean, we do as well. We do as well.
Hey, I'm with you about this. Get together, pick a place, either Big Mike, Greenland, Sunmare House. Pick a date, say it was going to be. If you can make it, make it. If you don't. That way anybody can get what they want. That's the simplest way to do it.
I do. I agree totally. I think it's much easier. Much.
And then with an enjoy time, you ain't got to worry about cleaning up. You know, you can just sit there and chatter and talk about Alabama football.
Yeah, and nobody has to. Yeah, I think that's a much better.
Yeah.
We might do it up at Southern Ale House's new
yes,
dockside.
Yeah, I want to go there. So anyway, you know what I'm looking at.
By the way, I mean I really screwed that up. I mean I went from a lemon upside down bread pudding. It's a pineapple upside down bread pudding. Fowler, I mean, come on. You already had it twice this week. You'd think I would already. I know it. I'm just not where I need to be. That's why I need to go down to the beach and I need to get my yin and my yang together. Namaste.
Or go to.
Do you know what namaste means?
No.
Neither do I. I don't either. So, I mean, I'm right there. I was